the gentlemen to the right of us are doing, man. Fantastic stuff and good times always. GVO, good vibes only. Hope everyone had a fantastic Tuesday. Thank you, Finch J. We lost a national treasure today, 7 days of mourning. And listen, R.I.P. Dolly. I'm not going to get into it too much, but Obi.
Yeah, good show.
Nice day. Easy Dragos. Easy everyone there in the chat. If it's nice outside, trade and then go enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm going for a walk.
Be one with nature. Yeah. Be one with yourself. Oh, be one, Kenobi. It's your boy
Be one
Joey
with
O.
the Force.
Bro, I'm not
I'll leave
laughing.
you with that.
I'm not laughing, bro. Easy, everyone.
These are the traders you're looking for.
There we go. See you later.
Take it easy, guys.
Yeah, we're working 9 to 5 to bring you guys news, including on Meta right now here. META is going to be in focus. Now, this is an interesting one, and I want to take a minute to break it down for you guys. So we know they have that trial going on right now. Apparently, a former Meta data scientist by the name of George Voloshenko just testified that only 0.2%, so less than 1% of teens actually use the Instagram Take a Break feature when it was opt-in. Meta has since made the feature enabled by default for teen accounts. So guys, what does that mean, and why would Meta be trading higher on that? That implies that when teens have the option to actually, use this feature for their mental health, they don't want to use it. So if you're making the case that Meta is intentionally being bad to teens for mental health, I think this testimony kind of puts a bit of a wrench in that case. I would say it's a good look for Meta. So we'll have to wait and see how that's interpreted by the jury, but either way, I think this is an important thing to note. We're going to send you back over to Neil and Sean. These are the traders you're looking for, as Obi said.
Yo.
Welcome back, everybody.
We are the trade. Look, I just didn't want them to throw it over early. I didn't want to have any controversy with the contracts, with the payments, anything like that. Joe is very specific on everything.
Yeah, you have to
so
We
got to make sure.
You can't just, it's not willy-nilly.
It sounded like a great midday show today.
It did.
Nice to hear Obi's opinion and see what's going on over there. I had some Moderna trading. I saw some Palantir trading going on there.
Yeah, what's up with Palantir?
I don't know. It was breaking lower. It's 173. Yeah, down 1.5%.
It went exactly to 180 almost.
Yeah.
I wish we'd seen this one in the morning because
something going on over there.
Yeah, there's nothing to whatever. It's down 1.5%. I'm not saying it's crazy, but look at the 180 level on PLTR. Like that's sort of an obvious resistance spot on Palantir, but it wasn't not on the radar, probably because it didn't have a particular catalyst, but the chips do, and and we'll be paying attention to them. We still have just over 24 hours until you know who. And if you don't know who, then I'm talking about after the bell, then you should. That'll be Nvidia after the bell tomorrow. Should be a big one. Again, I'm sort of the mind, we were talking about this yesterday, that you might see a certain other name that's going to move more after the bell. And that would be, oh goodness, that would be CrowdStrike.
What the hell?
Yeah, right? Right, Obi.
Are you sure they didn't mix it up with DKS?
So Obi's saying, are you sure they didn't mix this one up with DKS? Well, I mean, Dick's Sporting Goods is down over 25%. This would be only 4%, but it's been pretty bad. CrowdStrike, look, the cybersecurity names have been, and you were saying this yesterday, maybe the quietest drop recently that was not getting talked about too much. I think that's fair to say. Like they're off pretty significantly. Sorry, this one's not split adjusted. Let me just go to an actual daily chart where you can see this. They're off pretty decently at the highs. Like you're under the 50 period moving average. Like you just recently pulled back like 25% here, or 20% at least. So yeah, getting into bear territory, at least CrowdStrike is. Unfortunately.
Wish it wasn't working. Yeah, exactly. No, I wanted Andre to test my ear, and then he asked me to do something. I was like, oh man, like why did I?
That's what happens if you ask.
Bother to ask? But the reason why I asked is because, of course, there are new discoveries coming from OGen, and we got to talk about them right now. We are seeing some updates out of them. Their ticker is OGEN on the NYSE American. This company has now activated its phase 2A clinical trial in that country, Australia, where its first site fully operational and patient dosing is expected next. They're developing ONP-002, which is an intranasal treatment targeting concussion and mild traumatic brain injury, an area where there are currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Origenics has spent the past year strengthening its balance sheet, raising capital, resolving liabilities, and restoring exchange compliance. The focus now shifts to execution with clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation. Go check them out. That's OGen, of course, as we continue to move forward there. We just heard that story about Meta. I was listening to it on the way in this morning. And yeah, it was like basically Australia came out, they banned that social media, but it's not working at all. Kids still choosing to go on it. And yeah, it was something like 25% of the population or 26% or whatever it was, dropped by 1%. I know Adara just gave the whole story there, but 0.2% there. But Meta, anyways, continues to be that stock that bothers me a little bit, just how much it's come down. But we do talk about that 200 period moving average. And, you know, we looked at AMD and Nvidia and Intel, and they're above the 200 period moving average still. Unfortunately, our friend Meta isn't. And that's why it's basically the biggest cause of concern for me for the Mag 7. I mean, Tesla's in that realm as well. I mean, not worried about Amazon, Microsoft, I don't think, Apple, definitely not. But it would be Meta is the one that's worrisome a little bit there. Did I see? Yeah. So you got into Dix again, right? I don't know if it worked or not, but it's still down another 30%. I don't know if you tried to break long, because I was actually thinking about it.
The only ones that only at 30s. So the only places we went long were off of 132. Man, this chart it's hilarious to look at, because you can't get, no matter what you do, the scaling makes a couple of bucks look like nothing. And then we tried, the one that didn't work was the 130 there. The good trade was, it's hard to see, but it was the 132 into like 134 and a half. And that was pretty much it. Like that's it. Like it's just continuing to head to the downside, 30%. And the reason that we're, obviously when Obi was talking about CrowdStrike, did he mix it up with VIX, is not because CrowdStrike's having as bad of a day. I think it's just more that it's undercover. Like we know the story here, like this was a bad miss. The miss top bottom, and the same store sales declining. They pick up Foot Locker, and it looks like that's really not going well, unfortunately, because that was like the worst segment. The idea when you make an acquisition is that you see a synergy or something that can be a boost, not a drag on the company. Like
I don't think they thought that. But
no, well, obviously they did. Yeah, I'm sure they didn't think that. No one actually thinks that, but that's what it's turned out to be so far. It's really not working out at all for Dix. What is, well, Moderna's working, but it can't break 160 bucks yet. And this is, I mean, it's asking for 160. It's literally asking for it. 160.00 is the high. Before that, it was a 159.9. It does feel like it wants to go. This could be an afternoon breakout trade on Moderna. It just hasn't been able to take out that ultimate high, but it's moving, and we know it's August or day before Nvidia earnings. Volumes aren't going to be through the roof, so you want to make sure you're trading things that are moving. I don't have anything going on the Halt scanner except for GEM. That's this 70. Yeah. You know what the company name is for GEM? 707 Cayman Holdings.
So they're just like a holding company, basically.
Like if there's a company name that just sounds iffy. 707 Cayman Holdings. This sucker that halted a. We have traded it before, Adara? Okay. Well, Adara says this is a repeat. Oh my goodness, yes, it's a repeat offender. Yeah, reverse splits, dumps, pumps, dumps. It's got all of it going on. It kind of makes me think about it a different way. But it's it's got some volume, and it's picking back up and heading toward the volume weighted average price. It hasn't halted since the midday. And how much? You know what? That first halt. Weren't we just talking about this last week? You get a small capper, or it doesn't, small capper, gapper. This one makes the move yesterday in the afternoon, and then holds on. Doesn't really do much, but it's holding on to the gains, lulling you to sleep, and then it pops. Volume spike at 11:20. The first halt up. That's all you need. The first halt up. You jump in there. You know where your risk is. How quick can you be? Because that's the reality is once the volume comes in, it's probably halting very quickly. So you need to have a super fast scanner, or just already have it on your radar. You grab the first halt, take some out, hold some for the dream. Let's see if he can get back above VWAP. I think that should be in play today. And yeah, MF Dangerous. Rest in peace, Dolly Parton. Legend.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you
legend. 80 years young. 80's not that old anymore, I think.
80? No, it's
not.
That's young. I mean, both my parents still underneath, but I can imagine losing them.
Pop's getting close to that.
Yeah, I know. It does seem really young.
It does seem young.
Rest in peace there. Did it say what was there?
You know what? I only saw like a few people mentioning on X. So I didn't read an article that said how she had passed and Adara.
All right, well, rest in peace to, one of the country music legends. I mean, I think we can all period, music.
Period.
Yeah, exactly, Adara.
And she's funny.
Yeah, I don't know that much about her.
I don't know. YouTube is wild sometimes because they'll just suggest stuff to you that like I'll like and be interested in, but I have no idea why. And at one point I was getting suggested some interviews that she would do, and she's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. She's just a good singer, so probably like a great person as well.
All right. Yeah, movies, everything. And
someone's saying they don't think she's dead.
Oh, I don't know. I'm reporting what you're doing there.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure because it's literally on.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, major networks are reporting it. I'm pretty sure.
It's all good. Nothing's true until Trump announces it.
Her family also confirmed it, so I would say that it was probably true once that happened. They're the people who initially posted.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, someone said that about Dane Jenner is also in the chat. Okay, well, as they say, rest in peace there. We'll hope that, her family is okay and everything, which I'm sure they are. Okay, just a few looks right now. One name that's an interesting one that I don't know if we've ever really traded on the show before, but Qualcomm is right here. I was just looking at it again, a little bit of a level break potentially incoming here for QCOM. It kind of sucks today to see the Nasdaq just bleed out all day. Really, it's not that it's bleeding out, but we're near the lows of the Nasdaq here as well, and maybe looking for a little bit of a short to come through at some point there on the Nas. So we'll see if there's any sort of a give up there to the downside. Hopefully we're okay and we don't have to worry too much about it, but that is a little bit of a spot right there to worry about for the Nasdaq, just hovering near the lows underneath VWAP, keeps on bouncing. This is since 1250, so hour and a half. We've really seen negative, and I'm talking about this chart here, response to the 50-period moving average. So, maybe it was pretty choppy early on, bounced around there between 11 and 1, and then since now, last hour and a half, sort of been downside and really respecting out on this 50-period moving average. So we'll wait to see if we can get the Nasdaq to maybe bounce upside a bit here. Wouldn't be a show without talking about SpaceX. But, not much. We were short on SpaceX, made the money, gave it back up once it broke through 138.50 there, and that was the end of that trade. Positive results on the stock, but yeah, definitely lost on that last. I don't even think it was very big, maybe 10% of a stock there. And right now it looks like it's a long. Okay, Fabian's in the back working on some wires over there. Looks like a long to me, man. We want to thank everybody for going through with all that noise that was there this morning. Hopefully that's corrected and we fixed our left ear, right ear audio problem as well, we think. But 138.50 right around here for SpaceX. It's bounced a bunch of times. I don't know if we want to go long yet, but this is looking like it's not a horrible idea there for SpaceX. Just rather look for something that might give us a little bit of juice here as we go. We can. Tonight was Klarna. No, not Klarna.
Yeah. No, not Klarna. It was
Affirm.
No, Firm's Thursday.
Zoom, Box, Intuit.
Yeah,
Thursday is Affirm. It's also IREN and a couple other hodgepodgey type names. And then tomorrow after the bell, you get the massive triple whammy of CrowdStrike, CRM, and Nvidia. I don't believe these three have reported together since August 29th or 28th of 2024, or at least if they have, I think it's been quite a while. So,
well, it's going to be a big one, but we have to get there first. And shout out to the Greek New York City studios. Okay, can Resolve follow through tomorrow? Oh, you don't care about today? Why do they report tomorrow? Look, we'll look it up. I have no idea whether Resolve reports. No, they don't report until September 1st. They report Tuesday morning. Resolve. They're up a bunch today. 26 points. What's the story? Google has selected its proprietary distributed database technology following an extensive technical evaluation. They're 12.5% short, so that's good. Decent short float. But look at the daily chart on Resolve. Now I see why you're thinking about can it follow through tomorrow, because it's put in the move to local resistance today, which would be just above $3. But it's been sitting in the same range the entirety of the year. Like, this is January. End of January is when it lost the 200-period moving average, and that resistance is still the same, which is about 315 to 330. So it's right in that chop zone as we speak. That's a difficult one for this afternoon. Let's see if we can hold on to VWAP if it fails that level. Double check just to prepare ourselves. No, we can't short it anyways, so You got to pay for locates if you wanted to short that top on the daily unresolved. But I like that daily chart because I think the breakout is tomorrow. If it can get through $3.30 unresolved, and you have time to earning, so that could be something.
Yeah.
Moderna just made a dip into 56, so it's getting further away from that 160 break. If this isn't going to have the juice for the breakout, gonna have to look somewhere else. The resolve wasn't. I don't know if I like that level on resolve. We'll find a mover for sure. Gem was at least a little bit interesting.
Yeah, JEM there. Yeah, I mean, that's the one that's been halting on my scan. And then that read, as you just mentioned there here, under $1 right now. So it could be a trade. Yeah, no, just looking around, we did drop out on Intel there once we finally broke 88. It breaks it, comes right back to 89 basically, and that would have been a short on VWAP. But again, I went to go check out my daughter who's at the training camp right now. Looked like a lot of fun. 89 there on VWAP for the short. I mean, what a great call that would have been. Like, we were actually printed out the second idea on here today. We went long on Intel because it looked like it was absorbing that, but we had 88 longs written down there. And once that breaks, generally speaking, you wanted to go short. It didn't really give us enough reason to go short, but that move up to VWAP there would have confirmed that there was a downside play. And once you see that break, then you can go short using some of those tops as your area to get out. And it just doesn't look like right now Intel wanted to go too much more than VWAP. So what a great opportunity that would have been. You could see IBIT. I know Joe was over there trading a little bit of crypto. Yeah, so good bounce off of VWAP, it looks like. For this one, I had written down short 45.30. That went up to 45.10. So again, good short level there. If we could get back up for IBIT, I think that would be a short. But let us know in the chat what you guys want us to look at right here, because NASDAQ looking like it wants to break the lows. I could get behind shorting this right there. It's just, you've run into a few levels, so we still need a couple minutes until maybe we break the very bottom and then use the 50 period as our area there. But that really hasn't been the go. For me, it's been like waiting to almost, and it's not the same thing as an OB trade or anything like that, but kind of catch a reversion. I mean, like if something pops up like on some crazy move, then I'd like to sit there and see if there's an area that we could fade that move back in, coincidentally the same way on a long. Like if something like this can happen and we get some bottom wicks, then we'd like to look for a long there. But I'm looking at what, ARM is showing up maybe as at a possible level. I don't know. They're on my scanner too. Yeah, so looks like breaking the day's low there on ARM. So, potential trade rate here for ARM. Marvell also trying to go a little bit lower. But yeah, these are just some ideas that I'm looking at. Wouldn't mind looking at some SoFi or some Robinhood maybe as we talk about crypto a little bit more. So we'll do our best to hunt for some opportunities. It is Tuesday, so I mean I haven't received a message from Brian, so hopefully we'll have Brian Shannon on. We can see what he's looking at. He always has some good ideas. You can get your questions loaded for him as well. Put your questions in the chat, man. It doesn't have to be a super chat. Just let us know if there's any symbols you want us to look at.
Remember $ in the ticker.
And that too, man. We can go right over to the stock visualizer as well. All right, Adara, you got something for us?
I do, and it involves Cerebras. So a little bit of a spike here in Cerebras, nothing crazy, but basically we know earlier today it was announced or it was reported that OpenAI had this jalapeno breakthrough with their chip. Now, some people were saying, oh, that's going to be competition for Cerebras. Well, they actually just came out and said, quote, congratulations to our partners at OpenAI, saying that jalapeno and the next gen Cerebras solution will be able to gather in production in 2027. So they're working with OpenAI on jalapeno. It's not going to be competition. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara. And like I saw in the chat, there were a few people that were asking, what's going on with Zscaler? Well, we had opened, one of the things we talked about when we opened was CrowdStrike, Palo Alto. If you are cybersecurity today and you're not down, that's the bigger story. But if you're every cybersecurity name is taking it on the chin a little bit. But SoFi just got mentioned. That actually looks like, once again, you get to about $19 and it looks like it just rejects. Look at the daily chart. It's just a wall up here. You get to 19, and it's like my daughter's, one of her favorite saying now is, none shall pass, or you shall not pass. But she hasn't even seen the movie. She just knows. Like, it's crazy. I'm like, do you want to watch Lord of the Rings? She's like, no. I'm like, but you keep quoting it, and you keep wanting to watch the clip on YouTube. You don't have any context for it. Right. You seem to love it. I'm like, we could just watch the movie. It's a very good movie. We do Movie Night all the time. She's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay. I just want to watch it again. I feel like I need an excuse to. No, but 19's rejecting. This could be a short into VWAP. It's at a resistance spot. You got a lower high. Continuation makes some sense. Maybe give it to 18.9. I think that could work for sure. Yeah, Dino in the chat's like, yeah.
Merc?
I know I mixed up Monty Python. So you shall not pass.
Right.
That's Gandalf. But none shall pass is Monty Python.
You know what I was thinking about? I was trying to watch movies with my kids, and like Marissa was telling me, and I think it's true. It's even true of myself now. I don't think they have, unless we go to the theater, I really don't think even myself has the staying power to watch like a Lord of the Rings anymore, like a 3 hour, 2.5. Like there's too much. Like the phones are there, people are easily distracted. I feel like sitting at home right now, unless it's a Friday night where you plan maybe a pizza dinner or
that's what we try to do.
Something, but it always seems like they get bored. Like if we go to the theater, they can sit there and watch.
It's a different story.
You know, like we're going to see Odyssey this weekend on the 70 millimeter IMAX. So we've been waiting a month to see that. So that's like everyone's getting jacked up for that. But like, there's no way we could sit at home and like watch Lord of the Rings or something. Like I felt like we were doing that more as kids for ourselves.
Well, I know I can. I'm pretty sure my daughter, we'd have to watch it over a couple of days.
That's what I mean.
Like, I don't think we can do it.
Yeah, I don't think they're capable of that anymore.
But you know what we all have the attention span for?
Do we?
To go to the window, to the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Here at Adara.
Hello, everybody. It's another segment of To the Window, to the Wall, where I pull up an infographic window and we talk about it on the wall. Now, this one is very timely. This is actually just posted on X at TTV Research, so you can follow along there on social media. But basically, the Jackson Hole Symposium, while we don't have the speech until Friday at 10 a.m., you actually get the start of the symposium tomorrow. So with that in mind, I already have an infographic that's just Jerome Powell and his speeches in the SPY and Q's performance, but I thought, why not go a little deeper? I went back to the start of the millennium, that's right, 2000, with Alan Greenspan, and I tracked how the market performed on the days of these speeches here at the Jackson Hole Symposium for Alan Greenspan, Ben Bernanke, Janet Yellen, and Jerome Powell. Now, there are two things that I just want to, actually it's one thing, but there's two aspects to it. So there are actually 2 years within this 2000 to 2025 span where we actually did not have speeches. Now, in 2013, Ben Bernanke, for some reason, opted not to speak because I guess his logic was, well, I'm going to be done in January of 2014 anyway. Kind of weird. But anyway, so there was no speech in 2013. There was a speech in 2015, but there are a couple caveats. For one, Janet Yellen did not deliver it. It was then Vice Chair of the Fed, Stanley Fischer, and he didn't deliver it on a Friday. He delivered it on a Saturday, so we didn't have a market performance to track. So that's why if you're like, hey, why is there no 2013 or 2015? Because there weren't any speeches to track at that point. Now, in terms of the market performance, it was generally, like, we did pretty well here, I would say, on average, during Bernanke's tenure in particular. You did have, some weakness here in 2012, but generally, I mean, if you look at this 2011, it was a great look here for the SPY and the NASDAQ on that Jackson Hole Symposium speech day. Yellen, pretty straightforward. There's not too much to say here. It was relatively flat. Let's talk about our friend Jerome Powell. Because I know that he wore the purple tie to be neutral, but there's nothing neutral about how the market would react to his speeches. This is like all the way down here in 2019. You've got decent reactions here. I guess this is 2020, 2021. Then the infamous inflation is not transitory speech in 2022. Massive drop here. NASDAQ down about 4% on this day. And then we had really strong showings in 2023, 2024, and 2025. Now, what will Kevin Warsh bring us for his first speech as Fed chair on August 28th, 2026, this Friday at 10 a.m.? We'll have to wait and see, but what I can tell you for sure is I'll update this infographic to include that speech. You can find this visual again on X at TTV Research. It's already out. With that, that's today's segment of To the Window, to the Wall. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and we'll send you back over to the guys at the desk.
Yeah, we were just talking about, remember some of those.
In defense of that 4% down day, and I'll read the quote because Jerome Powell did say the Fed would use that day, quote, forceful and rapid steps to curb inflation. And that was like the post-COVID inflation. So it was kind of a unique situation. You don't want to hold it all against him. Like, it's not his fault that COVID happened and everyone started printing money. Like, look, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, we're always printing money, but printing money at unprecedented levels, which you knew would obviously cause inflation. Apparently not everybody understood that concept, but it did happen anyway. So it's not, you can't put it all on him. Poor dude. I feel like he's he gets that bum rap, but he definitely knew how to pivot in the post. The fadeaway game, I don't know if that was. I don't have that key right. Hit it right now.
I don't have it either. I have the phone call.
Yeah, that's the one I have, the Jerome, which we need a Warsh one, by the way, because if we're gonna do the whole phone call, I only have the Jerome.
Except he wouldn't call you, Neil, because he doesn't like to tell us what he's thinking, so he'll never call. If you're calling him, and then he's leaving you on red. That's what's happening if you try to call Warsh.
They called me.
Oh, call Warsh. Yeah, well, there might be a task force.
Task force.
He might be a task force.
Wouldn't mind being on a task force.
That out there. There's Fabian working in behind. And remember to stay late with us tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
We're going to be here talking everything NVIDIA earnings. That is for sure. So get ready for that one as we continue to, talk about some interesting opportunities there today. Thank you, Brian. I do see you there in the chat. Brian Shannon from Alpha Trends will not be attending with us today. So that's sad, but that's okay. We'll get some ideas from him next week. And thank you for stepping into the chat and letting us know about that one. ARMA's kind of an interesting one too. Like I was just saying, I wonder if we are going to try to bounce off this 41 level right there. The 200 period moving average coming into play there for ARM. It's had a nice move down. You're still up on the day here, up 1.26%. If this market is eventually going to find its way back to VWAP, which I'm not sure it will. Although we still have an hour and a half. Nvidia is going to be my number one stock today, and it was great to trade early. I wonder what it means now. With now a day away, like this time tomorrow, I don't expect anything happening with Nvidia. So I'm really not sure we're going to have too much going on right now with this name. So, just looking for a potential trade here seems futile. So I feel like we do have to look somewhere else. And if anything, this break of Intel back down below 88 is getting me a little excited. Thinking about we could maybe short if it does come back up near that 88. Okay, here's a question right now. So something that we can finally talk about. Sure. The IGV has been something else to talk about, right? Because the IGV hasn't necessarily, it's been good. This is the software ETF. So I feel like Microsoft and Palantir, those are actually, I think they are, which is why this has come up to my mind. I think they're the two largest holdings in the IGV, Microsoft and Palantir. So as a percentage-wise, I believe that's the case. So you've had a nice rebound there. You are seeing a little bit of a top-end trade potentially. You do have CRM is involved in this, so is Adobe. But to talk about the name individually, I could talk about Palantir for sure. I still own a boatload of this, but I am getting a little nervous. We did get some out, remember when it broke through 160, and we have gotten some out in this area as well, in the 170s. But to me, it's now having a little bit of a problem as we try to break through this 180 marker. The next level higher are all-time highs. And I just don't know if there's enough good talk about Palantir right now to actually create it to get back into these highs. Now, this bump up was an earnings bump, so to be expected sometimes. But I'm a little nervous about this shelf break right there on Palantir, and that is around 170. So watching out for that kind of a break. You're definitely a gathering spot right there. And whenever this happens, you look for a break one way or the other. I'm more nervous about the market here on a bearish side than I am a bullish side, right, Randy? So for me, I'm a little nervous that Palantir doesn't have the juice to break above 180, but can easily retrace back down into the 200 period moving average. So for me, nervous hands on Palantir. Which is? Oh, the printer. Okay, thank you.
What do you need the printer for? Well,
I need to print a waiver form for Gia.
Okay.
Yeah, so I need to
it's so weird. Like we don't print stuff anymore.
No.
The last thing I printed was
like our printer's not hooked up at home.
You printed something for me the other day.
Yeah, lineups.
Oh, that's right. The lineup template to make the lineups for baseball.
Yeah.
Like that's what I print. No one prints. But the other side of that question was Microsoft. I think, look, Microsoft, you're getting a lot with Softy, but it's made such a big rebound here, right? Like you've broken out back to the 50 and 200. I think you want to be constructive on software. It gives you fantastic growth with cloud, with Azure. So that's going to be a positive for them as well. What was that? But yeah, I just think you want to let it settle down.
It's a sound thing, I think.
I'm very confused. What is that?
Yeah, he's testing the audio over there.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay.
I'm
I'm like, why am I figured out? Okay. Anyways, I'm hearing myself. lose my train of thought. No, I just think you're letting this one calm down after failing the 500 level. Like the question is, are we really in a consolidation here? Because it feels like there could still be another pullback. It's almost like you need to break the 500 or let it test back in. I think if you can get this pulling back into either moving average now that it's on the golden cross, that would be absolutely fantastic. We're about to go to Adara, but it mentioned SoFi at the $19 level. So there's the fail of 19. There's the lower high at about 18.88. So grabbing shorts in here. I want to get some sitting in the offer at 84s. Didn't get them. Took some 81. Still sitting at 84. We'll stop 88, and we're looking for a VWAP retrace on SoFi. But let's go on up to the desk. Adara's got some for us.
Let's take a look here at ABT. We did get a little bit of a volume spike here on Abbott Labs. Now, why did this happen? Because the FDA has cleared Abbott's Libre Duo 10-day dual glucose ketone monitor. Now, apparently this device is actually the first device in the US to track ketones continuously. Nice look here for ABT. Back to you.
Thank you for that one there, Adara. Yeah, we got to watch out for that. If you look for ABT, so that could be another play that, we're looking at there. Abbott Laboratories, we're thinking about, trading names that have little outside moves right there. Glucose monitor, I don't know. Maybe it's something there, but look what wow. We were often talking about Pfizer and some of these other plays. Like, I had no idea that Abbott was doing this, man. 100 up to 116. This is on quite the nice break. It's not even like it broke out of anything. It took down the 200 period. Now is at about like 107, 108 there. And it's just kind of been, obviously, looking at this, a lot of upside pressure now in ABT. So yeah, giddy up, man. If anything, you're maybe coming up to a level where we could see some fading going on through there. But yeah, good little update there. And thanks, Adara, for that one. But Abbott Labs, wow, what a monster move that name's had there to have. I don't know if you're actually in the money. Like, you had to buy these lows. It hasn't been a great stock. And I think it's actually fallen from highs. Is this the high 140? Okay, you're not too bad if 120, 140. I think you can be pretty comfortable sitting in this position right here on ABT.
Democrats urge Fed Chair Warsh to maintain the FOMC schedule of 8 minutes a year. Aren't they supposed to be independent?
Schedule 8 meetings. Oh, I thought it said 8 minutes. I was like, what, is he not keeping enough time?
It's just like, well, one side of like, stop influencing the Fed. It's only okay when we do it, and then it's like both. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. But I feel like, forget about that for a second. Just get used to the notion that we're going to have a Fed which is going to be a little bit less transparent, because that's where the leadership is telling you. Whether that's less meetings, or what do you think happens if you just force them to have more meetings? Do you think we're going to get more from him? Like, he'll just decide to be more tight-lipped and more vague if you force him to talk. At the end of the day, you can't make them give more projections if they don't want to. So I think it's just the new norm, which is good for a little bit extra volatility, I think. Adara?
Well, I was just going to say, what's interesting is he thinks that he's being more transparent, which is what I always think is fascinating with Warsh, is that his belief, and his sincere belief, as far as I can tell, or at least that's how he makes it seem, is that the less that he gives the market, the more the market is genuinely reacting to data instead of reacting to what the Fed thinks, which is, I don't know. I would need to sit a little bit longer to really unpack, I think, how I feel about all of that and whether there's any veracity or legitimacy to that. But either way, regardless of what I think, that's what he thinks. And that's, I think, important for the market and for traders to know.
It's not as crazy as you think when you put it that way. Because what he could be talking about is like, look, you're waiting for there to be actual shifts for us to make any kind of, like, say, a rate change or a policy change. Most of the time, we're just waiting and analyzing the data. And so why do we have to overthink it and talk too much about nothing that's going to happen yet? Right? So if that's the idea, then when we do talk, it's more transparent and there's less garbage. I think that's one way to look at it, but whatever.
We'll see. I think you're right. You don't want to force somebody to act some kind of ways. But Trump has pretty much Kevin Warsh's ear. So if something wants to change, I'm sure they can get that pushed through ASAP. I'm going to start a new position. So a little bit of sirens up right now. I don't know. I want to give this basically to right there. Maybe the market does want to go for a little bit of a jog. We often sit here and we say, or I say anyways, and then I get mad at myself when I short a quiet market. It's it's quiet, right? And we just had those bottoms come in. I feel like if we wanted to take it out, there was opportunities to do that. And we could be completely wrong. I'm just throwing an idea out there that let's wait to see if we break. Oh, we have half a unit right now on the NASDAQ. Maybe we just drift a little bit higher. Same kind of rhetoric for myself, like Nvidia short. Do you want to be short Nvidia heading into tomorrow at this time? I'm not sure that's true for most people. We had some good positive stories, I guess, for Meta recently, but everything's kind of barcoding right now. So I'm picking at straws right now to figure out what to do. I'm just using the technical there on the TQs. Oil, come on. I mean, we're not getting any love from that. I almost feel like this is broken. Okay, there it goes with 316 now. Austin 316. But what I was looking at, I'm pretty sure like when I looked at this morning, and obviously I can look and double check it, but this is the exact same price USO was at in the AM, right? We had a little bit of a dip down there at about 11:30, but USO kind of just hovering around. So we'll go over the TQs and just kind of say to ourselves, this could be a trade. There's your 200 period moving average on the 5-minute chart. It's holding that, so that looks pretty solid. I'm going to forget about this wick to the downside. We were trading when that happened. I mean, that got us out of SpaceX or Intel or something when that happened. But yeah, we're going to use basically 69.70. Let's see if we do want to test that. Again, economic, that was at the number, right? Yeah, it's at 10:30. Right, so when the number came out, it washed out. Okay, perfect. So, that was news. What's going to take us lower? So I'm going to try to hold on for that. If we lose on half a unit, we lose on half a unit, but so far so good on that. We'll see if we can buy a little bit of a dip into 69, maybe 90 or 60, 69, 80 or 90. And then, pretty much use a 70 as our out. So, we'll play with house money here today on this trade and just try to not give any back, but at the same time be somewhat aggressive in case there is a move higher. So half a unit's still okay. And then Walmart, I wanted to look there too, because there was another name where I feel like the bottom I know it's still down today. Obviously Dick's Sporting Goods setting the retail sector down. We can have a double check on Target. I haven't looked at that in a minute, but Walmart's right back to its high, like right where we opened the day. So that was a great take down there at 104.50. Feel like if there is any kind of look at the 25, look at everything's starting to turn up. So I kind of like a bid if we can get it around, what is this, 105.50s, something around there, this 50 period moving average. Let's see if Walmart does fall back in. But right now we'll just sit in this. We're in the money, amazing 2 pennies. Let's see what winds up happening with the NASDAQ at this time. That JEM, wait a second. I thought this recently halted. This hasn't halted since
No. But it was moving.
Yeah,
it
was
moving. It wasn't that it was halted. It was just that it was a runner that was going. Mm-hmm. But it could be interesting because I wanted to at least look at that if it could have got through VWAP. But I mean, Nvidia is really starting to pick up here. It broke away from the volume weighted average price. It was a good long into VWAP earlier off that 210 low. But now I'm seeing a breakout with potential to 214. So I'm on the bid here in the 80s. Just want to pick it up to this prior high, which is just underneath 60. So if I get 80s, it's about 25 cents worth of risk. I guess we can step up to 90 if we have to, take one fill there, and then take one fill at 80, and then your price is 85, which is what I was bidding anyway, so that'll probably work out. So I'm going to get long Nvidia. Again, just want to give it to this local high, which is basically 12.6, 212.6, and we're looking for a play into 213.5 to 214. What I was getting on about GEM was, when I mentioned it, I guess we jinxed GEM. Because when I mentioned it, it was running into VWAP for this 7 break. Look at it reject the volume weighted average price and come right back in. But there's a chance if volume picks up again, you could get this breakout above VWAP. That's what I was interested in. Like this little breakaway on JEM. It doesn't really look as good though. SoFi kind of pulled down halfway to the volume weighted average price and then getting a bit of a pop. It's still have my offer in there for 84 to get the rest. We haven't got them yet. So just Nvidia, which we'll try to add at 80s if we can. And the headline, Northrop Grumman, CEO, we expect to have a decent share of Golden Dome. Okay, I wouldn't suspect necessarily that headline's going to give it much. We did have a super chat, which we got to the Logman in memory of Dolly.
Yeah.
She never left her roots and helped to create over 23,000 jobs in her hometown, where she was born in a 1-room cabin with 11 siblings, literally dirt poor, will always probably love you and miss you. I mean, that says it all right there. And she had a...
What's the 20,000 job thing, I wonder? Was there? I wonder what...
Yeah, it could be Dolly.
Dolly World was that many? I guess, I mean, employing people back and forth, I guess.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
pretty impressive.
She also had, what was the name of the foundation? She had like an imagination library.
Oh, was it?
For kids that are under the age of 5.
Oh, really?
5 and under. Yeah, I mean, she was just an incredibly generous, and also well known for just being a good person, which you don't always hear about with celebrities. But she was apparently famously just a genuine.
Yeah, it seems like well grounded, obviously, and everything.
Exactly.
So,
which is so refreshing.
There you go. Definitely an American.
Was so refreshing.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dolly Parton. Yeah. All right. I was looking at iBits, not really doing a whole heck of a lot. This did just so. By the way, you know, I was just noticing we just stopped at the 200 period. I don't like that, but okay. I also don't want to take, 8 cents, but I'll take out 15% or so if we do come up to 70.15. So if we can come up to that area, I'll take a little bit out just on that top, because that was the last time that we tried to break the 200, and it almost looks exactly like what just happened right there. So obviously I just mentioned that, I wouldn't mind not reloading, but getting a little bit more down here at 90, but that might be the turn right here that gets us into that 90. So maybe something coming for the Qs on a downside, but if we do pop up, that's a 200 period. Moving average is the green. So yeah, it hasn't been like that crazy of a moving average or anything. That VWAP has been hot right there. That was a good one. We also saw that on, what was it, Palantir or something, where it really bounced off of that one. So, coming into earnings, I mean, we could I was looking at the account today, and yeah, I'm up almost 100%, more than 100% on CrowdStrike, but also Palo Alto. What a huge move that stock has been on recently as well. But, the recent talk, if we're going to talk about the last couple of weeks, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to call those a wash, but basically 7 down days out of the last 9, give or take whatever happened there. But yeah, big time movement to the downside on a stock like CrowdStrike. I still love the stock, but isn't it funny that like all these names that are coming into earnings, and we can look at Zoom and a few, there was one other name today that's reporting tonight. But, Nvidia on a downward drag as well heading into earnings, right? CrowdStrike on a downwards move into earnings. It's not Zscaler. That's what it was. We were looking at Zscaler because of the sector, but that is also down pretty good over the last couple of days, right? Zscaler down that 4%, but it's Zoom, ZM. I always thought these guys, like, I'm actually, Intuit is another name today, yeah. But, so that's not down that bad. I always thought Zoom was, honestly, once COVID was gone, and I was actually talking about this with Baxter the other day, like, what is really the purpose of Zoom anymore? Like, I really feel like nowadays everybody's like, oh, I'll send you a Teams invite, or we'll do, Google Chat, or I don't even know what they're called, but the live Google video feeds. But I guess
Zoom the other day.
I guess people, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I guess there's just a mix of whatever you're used to, right? And if you've been using Zoom, maybe you still are. I just think as more and more people transition, and like that's why I think there might be a buyout target at some point. Like as more and more corporations and everything transition into the enterprise, like will you be part of Teams with Microsoft because you're part of Copilot, or Gemini and part of Google's C-suite, all that kind of stuff. So that will instantly give you the Google opportunity to Google Chat, or again, whatever that's called. So I don't know. I'm a little bit surprised at Zoom. I guess they still have a lot of corporate clients. I don't know who exactly is using it, but Zoom right now, I think they're in a little bit of trouble coming into their reports, which means they're absolutely going to rip. So buy Zoom immediately. We're going to just go right now. We'll go, because there's the futures. I mean, we get the price that we wanted. We talked about that. So, just another trade right there. Small one, long at 03s, out, like I said, 15% at 15s there. Now we'll just wait to see if we can climb a little bit higher on the TQs. So that looked like a decent one there. As we just correct our mistakes from the past. And what that is, like I said, trying to go short into a market that A is up and maybe a little quiet. So let's just give it a shot here, see if we can make a little bit of money on this long. If we get VWAP, I think that would be an awesome spot to exit out. So VWAP at that part would be 70.30. So let's put something in this little range there, 70.25, and just start to add to the end, of this trade, right? So with the TQs, if we're able to get that out on the upside. But it's 2:44 now, 50 minutes of power hour. I don't want to say that power hour is going to be a nothing burger, but it's not. I don't know how much power up this hour is going to be. But we'll talk more about earnings and try to give you guys some more plays and continue to look at the chat, right? And thank you, Micron Millionaire. I wish I was as good as I seemed.
Oh, also, great point in the chat about Zoom. They have a stake in Anthropic.
Okay, well, that would be part of the case, but
Which I think. But
will they realize that tonight?
But that can help their earnings. I think would be part of the story. We've seen a lot of that this earnings season. Where it's like, oh, our stake in this has boosted our EP.
Yeah, and that happened. Amazon took the largest ever gain on that as a trade. So, all right, Sia has something for us in the back.
We're now very close to the close, so let's take a look at what is happening now here. The SPY is currently up 0.27%, the triple Q is up over 0.5%, and the Dow is up 0.26% as well. Now, two tickers that I do want to talk to you about right now is FOUR, F-O-U-R, that's Shift 4 Payments. Shares had rallied up to 4% after Wells Fargo had upgraded this ticker and this company from equal weight today, citing a quote-unquote improved setup after the second quarter, but the stock has, however, dumped all its gains and currently is flat. Wells Fargo had also noted that the company has multiple opportunities for expansion. Now let's also take a look at MRNA and send it right back. So Moderna stock rallied over 13%, still over 13%, building on the strong gains from last week that we saw when shares more than doubled in value. And as of today, Wolf Research has upgraded the stock to peer perform, citing the outperformance last week on the positive trial results for cancer vaccine that was developed jointly with Merck. So with that, you have MRNA that is up now 14% on the day, sending it right back.
Moderna's up. Yeah, it is up 14%, but it won't break 214, that's for sure. But hopefully, 160, I should say, 214. I'm literally staring at an Nvidia chart because that's the next level of resistance. It just took the 13 level out, so that's where the kind of the 1-to-1 on the stop is at that first quarter mark. Now we want to look to see we get some higher lows to be able to add back in on a dip, and then play into whatever this mess was. You can see at 10 o'clock. When this really fell apart, it was right into 213.5 with a top of just underneath 214. That'll be the ultimate target over on Nvidia. And the extent to which it's leading things, like I looked over and like, okay, well, maybe there's something else going in the space a little bit better. Like DRAM is moving, but I don't know that it's moving more. But it feels like the chips really want to try to rally here going into the afternoon. So it's not like this is Nvidia doing it by itself, but it's worth mentioning. Like Nvidia's trying to go. AMD just broke the high of the day at 480, 5%. So you want an outsized move, it's AMD. I have some skepticism about if we get into the 50 period tomorrow, or maybe we get there on the actual Nvidia earning and get some sympathy up to that level. Nice. But I have some sympathy on that for AMD. Like I'm not too sure that this one's going to have as much breakout power, just because it's gone so much further and hasn't had as big of a pullback. But yeah, we'll look to see if this gets into that 213.5 zone. Gotta watch out for SoFi. Like it gave me the reload, started dropping back in, but then when the market spiked, see that move up, so we're just starting to get filled in the bid again. The stop is right here. I'm at 84 with a stop at 88, but SoFi's an $18 stock. So, sometimes if you're going to take 4 or 5 cents, you're going to get out not wanting to lose 4 or 5 cents. So we keep that one a little bit tighter to the vest. I actually end up paying fees I paid fees on the outs too. I kind of set on a reverse model. That's how I got the best fill. So I'll be down fees on SoFi, but I like that setup at the 19. But what I'm going to like better, and stop me if you've heard us say this before, SoFi wants this 20 break. It really does. Look at the accumulation. I know for a day trade, you'll look at 19 and think shorts at that price, but look at the accumulation at the 50 period. It's had the earnings dump, which is what they do. They dump it at earnings, then they go. This one wants to go. And it's just a matter of time before we break out on SoFi at the $20 level. So let's see how far Nvidia can go. Looking to buy the dip again back into if I can get the 3/4 mark, like 212.75, we'll try to reload this on the way to this 213.5, 214 zone. HP Motor Cars, let's go Hood. Yeah, Hood and SoFi both are pretty good. I think you can be happy with both. I only now own both, but I have a lot more shares. I bought one time my entire life in Robinhood. I probably have 6 or 7 times the shares in SoFi that I do in Robinhood. But I haven't bought SoFi in a very, very long time. But I do want that 20 break, both as a day trade, but I'll probably add back into the long term if that breaks out.
All right.
It's a quiet 8%, man, for Hood.
Yeah, we're not doing anything too quiet here. So let's just wake up a little bit right now. There it is, man. The TQQs. Shout out to Micron Millionaire and everybody in the chat. If you followed me on this one, that was a good one. We're actually out right now of a third of it. I mean, it came right into there. Let's see what happens. It got to 30. You know what? I'm gonna take out. Maybe can we get a 24, Phil? Let's wait and see. We'll see if we can take something out at. No, okay. Oh man. See, sometimes not offering instead of bidding and punching out and all that can cost you. Neil just talked about some of those fees on SoFi, which is, being on a prop floor, you're sort of trained to watch out for those fees and understand that the, what the difference between the bid and the ask and, how much expensive it is to punch versus add versus remove and all that kind of stuff. But you just saw me there. I could have got this out at 23, but instead I didn't want to pay for it. So I waited for 24. Now I missed 23s. Now I'd have to pay for 20s if that does come through. So we'll see if we can get something out at 22 now. See? So sometimes just by not getting aggressive, and it's not really moving, but I just cost myself, and I was only going to get out 10 more %, but just cost myself a couple pennies there because I was trying to basically catch a nickel to save $1 or whatever that sentence that Joe sometimes uses. We didn't need to get that sort of cheeky with it. We could have just easily punched out. We're not using a whole bunch of shares right now. I have about half of a unit left on my, okay, there it is. We just got out of 22, so it just came back up as I talk about it. So we were frugal there and it paid off because we got 22s, but we could have had 23s, which still would have been a better trade net P&L wise. But okay, so that's what's happening right there on the TQQs. And we just want to take it. It was only my 4th trade of the day, right? So first trade of the day was here on Intel, buying those 88s. That worked out fine. Nvidia couldn't be, honestly, I felt like the king of the world making that trade because it came right in, then it broke and it went. So we had the dip buy and the break long. I mean, that was double-barreled action on Nvidia. So that's going to be top stock. We actually made more on Intel yesterday because I took a little bit more shares. SpaceX there, really only one idea again, and it was multiple trades, but the same idea. Shorting this 138, that was payday. So that was trade 3, and then a trade 4 is what we're dealing with right now with the TQQs. So yeah, what's up, Adam James abroad? I hope you're doing well there as I see you there in the chat as well. That visualizer, we can call that up again. Nothing at all is halting for us. SpaceX, Nvidia, I mean, I literally just talked about both of those.
This is all from the morning, though.
Yeah, Dick's Sporting Goods we talked about. Can we reset this?
Because DAIC's dead, isn't it? Like, maybe that small capper is probably not even doing anything.
I don't know, maybe we can reset that counter.
The problem is, what Fabian told me is if I reset it, I'm only resetting it for me, so then I have to show this. If they reset it there, then the one that you guys put up, which is fine.
That's the only one that matters.
Yeah, exactly. If they reset it there, then when we show it to everybody, not just ours, we'll show the updated look. And then when you guys are typing in the dollar signs, like NCPL, seems like it's something. Why do I know that? That was from earlier today. Net Capital. Yeah, I remember this one. It was penny stock. I think I don't know if we were talking about it in the midday, but for whatever reason, I guess I saw it in the chat. Look, it's above VWAP. It's a small capper up a bunch. It's done almost 500 million shares, but it's a 58-cent stock. So I mean, come on. It's still fantastic volume, but look at the volume. Yeah, it's not doing much here at that bottom at all. And then Moderna, are you kidding? Again, it fades? So it goes right in, almost to the 160, another topping tail candle. Like, it just keeps coming right into the 160 level and rejecting. Moderna feels like it wants to break, but it just hasn't happened yet. PMI is a stock that I just saw.
Yeah, that was on Amex. That's another.
Oh, that's why I couldn't call it
It's a small little runner.
There you go. 35 million shares.
I had some halting experiences in the morning. I don't think there's
Oh, yeah, this one.
been a whole heck of a lot since.
And even that one looks like it's falling back. We call them up, and then all of a sudden, you call it up right when the stock is pulling back in. You can't win. Yeah, you can't win on these. Just want to find one that's going, one that's got the volume behind it still in the afternoon. Otherwise, you're fighting it. That gem stock felt like it could have been something. 707 came in. That's almost dead. Like that. This actually looks like it could be a shorted VWAP, but volume is completely gone. 10 cents spread on a $6 stock. Probably not worth even paying for locates. on that.
Snap. Okay, maybe. What's up, David Jones? So just to let you guys know, like, this is what we're doing, man. We're finding people in the chat. We could do a little bit of a roll call as well. And yo, what's up? See you later, Mike. Peter Ryder, as he's out of here right now. Yeah, and I mean, you know, hopefully you guys can stick around. We'll wait to see if the market gets going. I still do think there is some opportunities to trade this afternoon. I mean, I'm in a trade right now. Yo, someone just there. Roll call, says Andrew Chow. Yeah, video fun for all. You guys are here. MF Dane Generous. Yo, what's up? Thanks for all the communication there on Twitter as well. There's Mike Peter Ryder. See you later, my guy. AJ Easy says what's up as well. Blicky Spears is always here as well. I don't know if she had shares in Micron, man. Dolly Parton, maybe. Ruth, what's up? Raymond there. Mike Peter Ryder said that. Love to trade is here. Arun Warrior. What's going on, Arun Warrior? Arun Warrior is very concerned about my Micron position, or my QCOM and IRAN position. I'll address that in a minute. What's up to Hit F3? Oh, there it is. Yo, Yeti 360 is here. Shout out to Yeti. We've both got Yetis on the desk right now as we speak. So, and mine's not here either, so that's a lie, actually. All right, so what's up to Noon? New Loon.
It's in the dishwasher.
Yeah, exactly. New Loon, Green Saber, 2 New York Cent. Thanks, Trey Bronson, as well, for joining us. I just got another piece out at 20 there on the TQs. As Mike Peter Ryder and many of us are noticing that the market's a little slow, let's just make sure we take some profit. So I have half left right now. I'm going to actually change this script on this because we've made that money. I don't need this to all fall back in. Break of 70, man. Let's go let's put it on sale. $69.97. This will be on sale for you. Can do your one-stop shopping. If we break below $70, I mean that's
where the 96.
I don't know. That's where the 200 period. It's not. That's where the 200 period moving average is. If it breaks lower, this is an ETF. Well, basically it is. But the TQQs, they're a derivative of the Nasdaq. So picking or choosing between 1 or 2 pennies here, hopefully doesn't.
Oh, I was just saying because it's 6996.
Oh, okay, okay, that way. Yeah, I know. I was thinking like when you go to Walmart and something's on sale, it's like 98 cents or whatever it is. So anyways, there goes the TQQs coming back in a little bit. So it was a decent out rate there for that. We could take, okay, I was gonna say we could take another piece if it's going to break that. Okay, we just took a 16 fill there, but if it was gonna break the 25 period, we could get another piece. So I'm just gonna slowly start to piece some of this out as we go on this market. But yeah, let us know. Oh, IRAN, that's what I wanted to discuss. So they're reporting, right? IRAN later on this week. So I know that I did talk about buying some IRAN. Yeah, I'm buying some Qualcomm. Look, I know Nvidia's invested in both these names as well. Maybe not Qualcomm, but an IRAN. I just thought for the power usage, I think going through midterms and getting out the other end of that, I think will help some of these power names. It's just a topic right now. Do people want data centers being built in their counties? It's a water problem for sure. It's a power issue. There as well. It's, does it create jobs? Yes. Is it creating jobs for the current community? Maybe no, as they bring, people in from the outside. But at the end of the day, I still think IRAN, they just got a deal. I think it was a 10 gigawatt deal or something the other day there to come through. They focused away from Bitcoin. We know that Bitcoin's getting a little hotter right now. So I do think that there's some upside there as well. But no, formerly IRAN right there on the power supply chain of things. I like it. I don't have that much exposure in this space. I have Constellation. CEG is the only other play. And I find like that is almost more of a conservative play when IRAN is more of a short play. So I do acknowledge that GE Vernova, even some Caterpillar, if you're talking about the turbines, there's a lot of these kind of stocks. But I just, I'm in CEG around this price. So I want to be part of the power story. I also want to be part of the water story. So I was looking for maybe American Water Works, something like that. This ETF FO.
Someone had a good name.
Which is the Invesco Water ETF. I think there's something about this one as well to get involved in. But again, I want the clean water plays. I want the distribution of water. So it was American Water Works. Is that AWKS? What is? Oh, is it AWK? AWK, is that what it is? Yeah, American Water Works. Yeah, so this is a name that I'm also pretty interested in buying and have been watching a little bit of it, but it just really hasn't moved much. So, 50 period could be a starter on this one. We can see if, you guys let me know if anybody's invested in water out there. Oops, I don't want the news feed. I want the details. AWK, just to see when do they report. Looks like maybe the report's already done. If we go over to market events, we can see when their last quarter came through there. So July 28th. So yeah, we're well through that now. Wait a minute, that's 2027, my bad. For there it was July 29th. So we've already had it. Their EPS 161 versus 154, so that's good. Year-over-year revenue growth 6%. I mean, for a utility, that's probably pretty good, beating their last 2 quarters as well. Surprising on the EPS side of things, and a good little growth number of 8.7% on the EPS growth. So yeah, this is looking pretty good there for AWK. Maybe we step in right now just for a stock to hold and see what winds up happening. Let me know in the chat if you guys like some American waterworks. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of the thing. Like, who is it right now? Micron Millionaire is saying should have a look at Fix because they do air conditioning for data centers. My thing is, because I have CAD and GV or a pretty decent part of the portfolio, I just wonder whether I want more exposure. Until I find a level to maybe trim some more of those, it's like, do I really need to be adding exposure to the same thing? So again, I'll get out because Nvidia ticked the resistance and did a little bit of a pullback. So that's me scalping out of it.
But that was long.
Yeah, it was long, but I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, well, giving a little too much respect to this sell zone above the quarters here at 213.5. But we'll see. Again, like, you know, your style's your style. Like, I tend to, like this reversion here, like I have a lot of respect for it. Pops, it goes to that level, takes them out. It goes to this level, get out. So because I'm late, like I don't care that, it doesn't matter when I got in. Like in this case, I got the first move. In this case, I got the second move. So if you're in it here, I would have been playing to that level anyways. So just because I'm in at the second stage, doesn't mean I'm going to change the way we try to trade that. But we are breaking out toward the high. Moderna might not be the next trade because Moderna's not doing anything. A11 Guru, what about Visa? Breakout, the president likes it. I mean, I don't think—
It's at all-time highs.
Yeah, like I don't think you like anything just because somebody else does.
I do.
I think it can give you reasons to like it more, is more the way I look at it. It's like you'll put your eyes on it because someone else's view. It's like, oh, maybe I should give a second look at this. I feel like that's where I'm at with the credit card names, because I wasn't like the biggest fan, you know, but I do like the XLF. That was a pick, so obviously this is working out well because MasterCard and Visa and AXF, they're gonna bring up the XLF because they're a pretty decent portion of the ETF, but they're absolutely on a nice breakout. Like this just, I don't care what your opinion is. It almost doesn't matter your opinion when the chart don't lie. You know what I mean? Chart don't lie. There's the break on the daily, but you know what, the way I see it, if the more you zoom out the chart, the better it looks, that's a great sign. Like the weekly looks better than the daily. And then you throw up the monthly chart, and the monthly chart looks better than the weekly. And as a general rule, when you have stocks in your portfolio, just every once in a while, take a look at them and zoom out each time frame. And ask yourself, does the view get better as I zoom out? And if the answer is no, then I'm usually asking myself, should I still be in this one? And when I find that that's true, you know, sometimes you'll get yourself out of things that you don't love as much. Like this happened to me the other day. Like I literally, well, it was yesterday. What am I talking about? Today's Tuesday. It was the beginning of the month, and I was like, well, you go through, you're looking at all the symbols you're on. I'm like, oh, I still have Procter & Gamble. Like, do I still like Procter & Gamble? I kept zooming. I looked at the monthly chart on Procter. I'm like, I don't love this one anymore.
No.
I wouldn't mind putting some cash into some others. I'm like, just get out of Procter. I've owned this thing for years. Like that doesn't look as good on a monthly chart. Look at this. Reject the high, reject the lower high, reject the 50, consolidating under the 50 period. I don't know. It doesn't look as good. So why am I still in this thing when I probably owned it for over a decade? No, just sell it. Sell it and move on. But that's not what Visa and MasterCard look great. They're breaking out. That's just like the other side of the equation. I believe we're supposed to go to Adara at the desk, but a great point. Oh, sorry, my bad. We're going to Sia at the desk. That's my apologies, Sia. But it's a high compliment that I will mix you two up.
Would it be sad if I said I am used to it? I'm kidding. It is a joke. Let's take a look at the market and what it is doing right now. The SPY is currently up 0.27%. And now, well, there is a lot that's happened since I last did Sector Watch. So let's take a look. Electric tech, you have Nvidia that has accelerated its gains. It's up to over 2%. Apple is still, well, now it's a bit in the red, and so is Broadcom. AMD still up 5%, Dell, MU, all names, and STX still up, followed by INTC and Cisco, but RTX remains flat with TXN. SanDisk is now down 1%. Tech services, you've Googled that is still flat. Microsoft and Meta have furthered a little bit. Meta is up 1.3%. Oracle is up close to 2%. PANW has slid further into its losses, is down 3.2%. IBM is now up 1%, and you have CRWD down 3%, and CDNS up 5%. Finance, there is still that flattishness between names like BRKB, Visa, MasterCard, Bank of America, and JPM, the big names in the banks. And you have a rally still being seen in Hood that is up over 8%. Coinbase is still soaring above 5%. GS and MS are both up over over 1%, with GS up 2.3% and Citi up 1% as well. Retail trade and Amazon, Walmart, and Costco have slid into the red. Amazon is now down 0.5%. Walmart is past the 0.5% mark, and Costco is close to the 1% mark. Home Depot, TJX are flat right now, and Carvana is up 4.4%. Producer manufacturing, LRCX is now up 1%, AMET down, but your names like DE, Jean-Tier, is still down over 2.5%. And names like LITE that are soaring up above 5%. Health Tech, Lilly is down over 0.5%. J&J, Amgen are still flat. ABT is also flat. However, MRK has now furthered its gains. It's up 3.5% and over. Energy minerals still all towards the downside. This sector is a bit of a bear for today. XOM is down, CVX as well. All the other names except from earlier before, EQT. Consumer non-durables, one name in this sector that is Nike is down now 3.3% on the day. And you have MKC that's down 3%, Lulu that's down close to 4%, and DEC down 3.5%. Utilities, as well as, just one name in utilities, VSD up 3% on the day. Utilities, health services, communication, as well as commercial services, all a bit of a mixed sentiment with process industries. And finally, let's take a look at transportation and distribution. Transportation, UPS, again, has furthered its gains, up almost 3% on the day. Uber is up 1%, Dash is up close to 2%. And finally, distribution, MCK, up 3% on the day. Fast is not fast, it's slow today. It's down over 1.5%.
Thank you, Sia, as always. Throw the shade. I'm like, oh, you know what? We're on all day long, every single day. Sometimes you just make that mistake. But Luis Suarez, I'll never forget your name because you're a famous footballer, or at least you share a name with a famous footballer, and you've asked politely several times about Cerebras. Look, my thoughts on this is when you miss on revenue in this environment, when margins compress and you have slightly wider loss than expected, this is what can happen. There's not much that's saying it isn't headed for at least a test of the lows. You know, ball don't lie. Its birthday is still the best day it had. It tried to make a go of it, failed 250, and we haven't really had an update in the last week. It's like a day and a half, a couple of days away from an all-time low at $160. Maybe that's not 200. Yeah, whatever. That's actually, it's a couple of 5% days. So maybe it's not. Let's call it a week away from a potential low. This is in a downward trend. It needs to show some kind of holding that bottom. So this is just an example of we're in an environment where meeting expectations can maybe make it okay, but missing them when you're a growth name that's losing money, you're just going to be in a world of hurt, and they're still feeling that pain. If you came in every single day looking short from, I guess, the 18th here, like you almost can't lose. Like you could be trying to get short at the bottom, but every single day, if you're looking short at the open, fails the prior day close. Look at the close, fails it at the open and dumps through the prior close, and then that would be a short. Tries to break in the prior support level, short. Same thing here. Try the opening range. We gap up because the market looks strong this morning. Gap up, tries to break out the prior day open range. Like whatever the first obvious resistance is, it's losing that at the open every single day. So that's a downward trend if I ever saw one on Cerebras. But the good thing is it's got the 160 level. You'd probably get a little bit of a defense there. Cheese in the chair.
It's a good story.
Yes. I just left the billing office at my daughter's college with yet another paid in full receipt for her next semester. That's what we like to see. Thanks in no small part to all of you at Trader TV. Can't imagine trading without you. Appreciate you, Cheese in the chair. And that is the best place to put. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of ways to invest, but investing in the future in that way is one of the best that you can. So shout out to you, and congrats to your daughter going off to. Well, I don't know. I don't know what year she's in, but congrats. He's obviously in college.
Great,
So yeah,
I think any money you make in trading, should be put away and saved. And that's what I always say: take some profits when you see some.
School ain't cheap these days, man.
Very tough
Yeah.
to do that.
Away.
But you talked about, I think it was you were looking at Procter & Gamble, and that made me think about another name. You guys know I've been talking about Charles Schwab for quite a long time. And Charles Schwab right now is at I believe, to be all-time highs. That breakout right there of 108 just happened 2 weeks ago. And we've been really liking this. I only own 3 U.S. Well, I own SoFi, but the JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and then Charles Schwab. And it's funny because about the credit card business and all that, there's also Capital One, which is COF. But Charles Schwab. Wait a minute, did Capital One got? No, not get taken over yet. Capital One, nice move there as well. Look what this name's been doing. No, that's still Schwab to the upside. Refresh. Still, nice movement up for a lot of these financials. It's funny because Visa's going, Capital One nowhere near, as you saw, that high as we zoom back out for that one. But yeah, just trying to realize that Charles Schwab has been doing quite well, and that stock is working out for us in the long term. There was it's been short term. I've only had it maybe for 6 months, 8 months. Since we've been talking about Schwab. But yeah, JP Morgan, and that's why it reminded me, I put that in the chat, like, is anybody listening to Kramer and his investing club? Because I know I initially had heard that there, Charles Schwab. But then, did their own work and got involved. A little bit of a pullback too for JP Morgan. And, another bank name that I think is pretty consistent with a lot of the traders here that are holding, not here, I just mean in the chat. JP Morgan, if you do have the XLF, big portion of that is JP Morgan. I think one of the strongest money center banks out there. BAC, JP Morgan, definitely work in all kinds of environments. And I think even right now, as the economy continues to be quite strong, I mean, although Dick's Sporting Goods might not tell you that, some of these numbers continue to be pretty good. Maybe PCE tomorrow sends this name a little lower, but still loving JP Morgan. And on pullbacks, although we always like to wait for the 200 period, you could do worse buying some JP Morgan in around 345 if it does come back through. Okay, I think I just heard in my ear we're going back to sea again? No, we're not. Okay, we're not doing anything. Okay, so we'll just hold off on that thought and keep on going there. All right, as we break down now, so the Qs, I just got another piece out there at 10s as we come falling back in right now. We will have that third, a little bit less than a third left. So still do have, let's call it a quarter left right now on this trade. If it breaks 70, we're going to be gone. We should technically already be out once it broke that 50 period right there. But, I'm going to hold it to 70. It had the juice, but the juice is now loose and it's going down. So it's just running all over the place now, but $70 break and we're out. You saw me put that price in before, $60.97. We will still obviously be locking in the profit on that one, but not a maximum profit spot. And you can see it had a chance to get to view up, didn't. So that's where we have, 4 outs up there, 2 in the smaller area. But right now it's looking like we are going to go down. I'm not going to reload this. I at one point did have a reload down here, but no point now. We just failed on view up. Thought this could go for a jog. Apparently it is not. So right now TQ's downside right now. What's up, Hangry Wife? I mean, there's a lot of fun talk here on the chat. And unfortunately, I can't pull that one up myself because my thing is restarted there. But there it goes right here. Trump wants to rename Lake Ontario to Lake America. Yeah, I mean, we saw that story there yesterday, just hilarious. We have Lake Ontario right here. In fact, Joe might go for a swim at the end of the show here, but
do you want to do that?
20 minutes south, and Joe's jumping into Lake America. Hey, be careful up there, Fabian.
Does it matter, though?
I think it does. I mean, I don't think you should be going around renaming lakes because you're mad at the country, but who knows?
Because we'll still call it the same thing. You call it whatever you want.
Yeah, but it's whatever. I mean, you can rename it, but I just think it's one of those funny things.
Yeah,
it is obviously bordering, a few U.S. states as well. So I get it. And the fact that it is Lake Ontario, I mean, now you're rewriting geography. I mean, it seems a little strange, but the Gulf Coast there, what is the Gulf Coast of America now? What it used to be? Gulf of America, that's what it's called now.
In defense of that, it is North America. So
yeah, no, I mean,
they call it literally North America.
All the names make
Central
sense.
America. That one actually makes sense, believe it or not.
But we are breaking. Are we going after Greenland, Cuba, Canada, Venezuela, Iran? I don't know. Anyways, we'll pass on it all. But yeah, Nvidia moving around.
No, Nvidia is starting to lose the bid here. See, I don't know if this is going to be. The reason to have liked this, and as I said before, if you're watching this a little more closely, and shout out to the chat because you spot this because everyone's saying Nvidia went, and then you're joining the move in here instead of this is where you really want to be getting in. See how it's holding VWAP? There's your confirmation candle. Wow, it's accelerating to the downside. Something happening right now?
I don't know. I got out of my position. There it is.
Like, look at that drop. Like,
That's okay. That might offend lots of people.
One of the greatest episodes of Martin all time. Tommy Davidson and Martin, and the ad-lib the entire. He was like Varnell Hughes, I believe, and he's supposed to be like this rich singer, and Martin's jealous of him.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, he's like, do you have the cars? Do you have this and that? And Tommy Davidson ad-libs the whole thing. He's like, do you have a pool? Can you swim? He's like, no,
keeps going.
We don't have a pool.
Yeah.
But we got a lake out back. So everything he said is just always like 10 times up. And Martin Lawrence actually breaks character during it. I love that.
Yeah, that show, Martin. I wonder how many seasons that was. I feel like it wasn't as many as maybe it should have been.
One of the funniest. And I'll tell you right now, if you watch Will Smith and a lot of the stuff he does and like Fresh Prince and whatnot, like, trust me, he has a lot of stuff that he borrowed from Martin or that he picked up from him. Funny cat.
Right.
But I don't know what's tanked
Walmart
into VWAP here. I'm now thinking just something, maybe not Nvidia, but does something look good for a short? DRAM wasn't, I guess no, DRAM, it's right at VWAP and maybe not moving as much. I don't know, like that was weird. I didn't hear anything in the ear. Didn't feel like it would have been technical. What did AMD do there? AMD's actually still going higher, believe it or not. AMD just doesn't give a damn today. It's just like, I don't care. AMD's like, what? Oh, Nvidia dropped $1? Nah, we're good. We're just gonna keep going. Forget you.
I have a new trade idea. It's probably the wrong
ARM is getting
because it's Walmart. Like, I mean, hearing some. Okay, OpenAI head of data centers has left the building. So OpenAI's head of data centers, Carl Malone, has left.
Can't say that name anymore.
Right
man.
there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Not Carl Malone. Chris Malone, I think it was. Right there. Carl Malone, still one of the best power forwards of all time. You can't deny that. All right, 105.70.
Look at Oracle.
So I wanted to short. Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. Let's look for data centers. I just talked about IRED. Maybe that's not good, but come on. Somebody leaving. I mean, look. Go to Neil's screen there. Oracle. I can call. Actually, it doesn't matter.
It's dropping like this because someone's leaving an OpenAI.
That doesn't. I mean, is he? This is the other thing. It's like, are these people leaving because we have no idea why? You know, and I think that's like the one thing is like, you know, going in there and punching keys based on a story like that.
Yeah, I'm not hitting low there. That's
you know, did he just if he's part of the head of data center development? Obviously, this guy is insider shares, so he's probably been part of the company for years, decades, maybe not decades, but years and years and years because OpenAI hasn't been around that long. But you know, if he's been around that long, maybe some of his shares have vested, and who knows if he took a buyout or not. But I would say that's a dip buy on Oracle, and we were actually waiting, if we come to the screen, we were actually waiting for an opportunity like this to find, darn, man. Like that came right in, you know, into yesterday's close right there of 142. Now you're back up $1 from that, now trading 144. So, I mean, we were just trying to break it down why that made no sense. And now Oracle's just bounced up $2 from its lows. So I think that was a good look there for Oracle, looking to bounce off of some sort of levels. But yeah, my trade there, we'll stop out at Walmart if it breaks 105.90. I know Fabian wants to talk about something important, so we're going to get to that right there. But that's my trade on Walmart. We'll hold that. We will bid 105.7. 105.7. That's 1-to-1, so we can put a bid down here. Looks like that's going to come out right now. Another 1-to-1 trade. We'll see if we can go 5 for 5. But for right now, Fabian's got the mic. What do you want to talk about?
I just wanted to talk about. I would have said thank you to the donors of today, but sadly we didn't get a single donation today. So,
what?
Yeah, can you believe it?
Well, you're about to get a couple right now.
So I'm hoping that like
turn the screens off.
The best traders today, you know, hopefully. Oh, there we go.
Don't actually turn.
Are willing to donate, and it would be greatly appreciated. Give a hand to help a kid with confidence.
$5,400. We're going to get that higher there. Fabian, come back in a couple minutes, man. We'll review that. Yeah. But there it is, man. Fabian, again, donating all 28 inches there of that hair. And it's been a very, proud thing because, being able to, get it growing. He's been doing it on purpose to grow that long, just to get the donation. He asked us if we could, use this platform to help grab some more attention and some more eyeballs to this. So of course, Trader TV Live, more than happy to oblige that one. But look what just happened at Walmart. Money. I mean, if you just made money on that, I mean, I think it was too early since Fabian came there, but there's the trade. So remember, this was a shot at 90, so I was a stop for 11 cents right now. We're in the money 15, so we're gonna take some more profit on Walmart as that comes right back down as well. Adara, you got some news for us back there?
I just want to provide a little bit more context and detail here in this OpenAI story. So again, guys, Wall Street Journal reporting that Chris Malone, who was a key executive as specifically part of OpenAI's data center build-out team, he left the company last week. Now, he only joined in March of 2025, so he was with OpenAI for less than 2 years. Now, March 2025, that would be a couple months after that Project Stargate was announced. That was, of course, that data center project in tandem with ORCL, which would be why Oracle dropped on this. Now, we know also OpenAI has lost a whole bunch of other execs in recent weeks, including Chief Revenue Officer Denise Dresser and Chief Operating Officer Brad Lightcap. So lots of exits here for OpenAI lately. The reason this one's hitting the market so hard again is because of that data center connection for Oracle. Back to you.
Yeah, which, I mean, I can see why people went to Oracle first, but it seemed like a bit of an overreaction. I didn't want to step in at VWAP, but the last buy zone down here was 211.70. So I picked up Nvidia, which it might come out because I threw my stop right at the low, but it came back. Yeah, this one might not go. Glad we didn't take it at VWAP, but we'll take our third swing, like I said, on Nvidia. Got out at the right time, but this might not be the time to get back in. Oracle might have been the better play. I just like Nvidia today. I like Nvidia today. I like Nvidia tomorrow. That could be a bit of a buy. If we lose 70, we'll have to drop out of this one. And my guess is when we were sitting there saying, hey, why was Nvidia going down this hard? This candle was probably that OpenAI story, and maybe it just hadn't hit the wires. Because we were falling. It felt like we were falling for a good couple of minutes, and then we got that story. So I think that somebody probably heard that, and they started hitting the entirety of the group. But we'll look to see just a retracement. I think back to 212.5, like this resistance spot would make a little bit of sense. But we haven't even had a green candle yet. So if we don't have a green candle, then I'm not going to add to it. We'll just lose on half because we haven't had any kind of a bounce. You like to try to pick this up on strength. This is the first time I'm actually buying it on weakness today, which I don't know if I'm in love with. It's like buy it when it shows, boom. There's buyers, join. Buyers, join. Sellers, long, which is a bit of a difference from what we were doing a little bit earlier here today, but we'll see. It's also reaction to news, but Oracle bounced instantly. That's the difference. Like Oracle came back, look at the candle on Oracle. Doom, and then it comes right back in. Heading lower now, but I'd like to see that on Nvidia if we can get it. But again, that's just a new trade here. If we do get a nice little green candle, it can be good enough to add, maybe take some out into VWAP at 212.25, and then look for that 212.5 zone if we can get it. Scott, would you believe it if I told you Lucid was up 6%, no news, nothing? I would believe it. Because 6% on Lucid it's not a lot. Lucid is a $6 stock. And $6 stocks with 40% short floats do not need much of a reason to go up 6%. It's impressive, sure. Oh, it's not even a $6 stock anymore. It's a $5 stock. My bad. The last time we looked at it, it was breaking the 50 period at 6. So this is Lucid. Yay. When stocks get crushed, the percent moves on the way back up are always more impressive because of how far it's dropped. This stock has lost 30% of its value in the last month or couple of months. Yeah, it's almost a full month, I suppose. And it's back to the levels where remember the rumor that they were going bankrupt? It's back down there again.
Yeah, I mean those shorts are
that's
sometimes
so bad.
Just way too easy.
Like they just that whole squeeze back up after the fact. All someone did is probably just, oh, you're not going bankrupt and you're going to pop here. Let's just short into this move. The stock is what it is.
Yeah, I could definitely see something like that. I just took another bid on Walmart here at 66, I think it was, right there as we're now trying to fall back in a little bit for Walmart. I'm really happy for my kid because he is looking for a new monitor. I sent it to Fabian. It's like a $1,300 OLED monitor. I think it's 34 inches for his gaming and everything. And he found one on Marketplace for like $500. So we might have to, I told him I'd split it with him if he could, find a good deal. I think I'll make him pay a little bit less than that. But I think like $500 for a monitor is still a lot. I don't know, man. The kind of stuff monitors that I'm talking about, he has one of these normal ones at home. It's still a really big one, but for gaming, he's like, oh, I need the true black. I need
got
the
crazy
OLED.
stuff,
I
man.
need all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, he has one of those gaming mice and one of those keyboards as well. So he's sniping away, and it looks like tonight he's going to get an OLED monitor. Can't believe. I mean, I was saying to Fabian, I sent it to him. He says it might be a good deal there because at $1,300 retail, we can grab it for $5. But we're going to go have a look at it and see.
This sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it does. But still, like $500 for a monitor. Like I don't even know what's going on. But I guess as component prices continue to increase.
Well, it's not like they're not going down.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere down. But yeah, he's checked it out. And I just got him.
Inflation's
I told him that he could get a laptop for graduating, basically getting into high school, so graduating grade 8. So the little graduation guy told me he has to get a laptop and it has to be under $1,000. He's able to find one. So we were able to get him that one as well. That was from Best Buy. And actually, Best Buy today was actually BBBY. We have BlackBerry earnings coming up, but Best Buy I thought was on a little bit of a run. Oh no, Dick's Sporting Goods, no, it was down today, but it was on a little bit of a run there, yeah, heading in. So I saw that bounce off, and it's a name that we don't cover here, until earnings, and for good reason. I mean, it's not like it's a huge, for Best Buy, right? Yeah, so yeah, earnings coming on Thursday. Thanks, Adara, for bringing that one up. We will look at the earnings chart in a minute, as Adara does such a great job there. Go check it out at Trader TV Research, just past the 30,000 marker on subscribers, I guess that's right, on followers, sorry, is what the term is. But yeah, right there. So I kind of like Best Buy heading into their earnings. I mean, I do wonder about, are people actually running to buy products right now? I know that everything's really expensive. I mean, to get anything that's been pre-built is really expensive right now. So I'm a little worried about that earnings, but Best Buy pays a dividend, huge move to the upside right here. There should be a run, I would think, on computer parts at least a little bit heading into back to school. So I do feel like there is something going on there with BBBY and back to school. And again, they do have a good marketplace there as well with legitimate sellers. It's not like you're having to worry too much about it, because we did get one laptop that he thought was OLED screen. It came and it wasn't, and we sent it back. You guys probably saw I had a laptop here that I was sending back. And so that was really easy to do, man. Free to send on Staples. Staples, I don't know what kind of deals they have with Pure Later or FedEx, but you can ship stuff back for free these days. So, all right, let's just go back. CEG, we like that name, says Stefan there in the chat.
It is.
Another name that could start to go upside as well. Meta is the most interesting name to me, just because of how much it's been hit to the downside. But a couple of those power names I do like a lot. And I actually don't mind Oracle. But again, I think it's letting the data center settle down a little bit. There could be an interesting.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, Oracle. I just think if you already own too much of the data center play in general,
that's like going to be sell Marvell to buy Oracle.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's the last stock that you want to add to. Before we go to the desk, Danielle Goldsby, thank you for your donation, $13. We appreciate you. It's going to an absolute great place. And again, thank Fabian for doing it, but thank you all for contributing, and thank you to Danielle. Let's go to the desk. See ya.
There we go.
What do you got? Oh, another one there. Anonymous. Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. Thank you for the super chat, though. They will address it later. I will do my segment really quick. USD MXN is one thing we want to look at. That's the Mexican peso. So at the start of 2025, if you remember, the Mexican bank, Mexico's central bank and Wall Street alike had expected the peso to weaken toward 21 per dollar. Instead, now it has surged past 17 earlier in the day, now at 16.9, making it one of the best performing emerging market currencies despite the sluggish economic growth and persistent trade tensions that it's been seeing with Washington. Also, let's take a look at DXY. That's the dollar. The dollar today falling a little bit, 0.09%, nothing too massive, but a little bit of a pullback, I would say. Investors weighing the expanded sanctions against Iran and the renewed efforts to ease this pressure on longer-dated treasury yields. Dollar currently holding not so steady at 98.9. And like I said, down 0.09% on the day.
Thank you, Sia. And it was just another, like I said, we appreciate you guys for all the gifts. And we also have a super chat that we just got in here. So if we can throw that, well, I'm on the wrong page to even throw it up there. Oh, there it is. West Palm Beach Trades. What's your outlook on?
The best.
Whoops, I'm on the wrong.
I love gold.
And silver is the question.
Hi-ho.
Hi-ho silver. Well, I think the breakout on GLD looks better. We'll get that one out of the way. I think you're getting a much better trend break. You're back above the 200 period. You've got concerns about what the Treasury is doing, and certainly that's given a little bit of oomph back into gold. The interesting thing is now gold and Bitcoin are seemingly moving together again for what that's worth, but you can thank the Treasury, I think, again for that. For silver, I hate to say this, but like the reality is silver tends to lag gold until things get crazy. So gold's making its break and it's trying to drag SLV up, and it's just not there yet. So this is a little bit more timid. It's just trying to go. It is on an upward trend, but gold just looks better. The early short was good. I'll have to ask myself why I didn't just break this out long. Ugh. This is one of those, hey, it got away with the short, but that should have been a reverse. Like, why isn't that a reverse, Neil? 61.65. It's a false break of the low here. It's a breakout. So yeah, silver is strong. I just think the gold chart looks a little bit better for what it's worth. I don't know. If we have to give you an answer, I think they both can work, but gold probably also a little bit safer as well. But you don't get a dividend with gold. That's the problem. Maybe you can find a miner that if you find a miner that you really like, they do some fundamentals. Like I was oh my goodness, there we go, Justin.
Oops.
Holla, Justin.
Yeah, man, thank you for that one right there, man.
Appreciate you.
Get that money, bill 38 right now. So we appreciate that one. We also got that money right there now as we are now. This was 10 cents worth of a hold. So now in the money 20. We just took a 58 and a 56. No, sorry, a 57 fill down there for Walmart. So, good little drop down there on WMT for trade number 5 of the day today on Walmart. So far 4 for 4. Walmart adding to that one right now. Little small piece left. Let's see how far we can fall on Walmart. What's up, Adara? And one talking about the European markets.
It's actually the Asian markets because the European markets have closed, as we know, but so have the Asian markets, to be fair. But they're going to open in a matter of hours. So here to take us through, it looks like it was a pretty green session last night in Asia is one.
Thank you, Adara. Yes, Asian markets back in positive territory as tech shares rebounded, as well as focus on upcoming earnings happening tomorrow. So take a look, TAIEX, Taiwan, definitely the regional leaders up by nearly a percentage. Electronics, tech services, as well as finance gained with TSMC rising nearly 0.5% after Monday's 1.5% drop, while chip supplier Nanya Tech also added by about 1.2%. Still a little bit cautious in Taiwan, especially ahead of their retail and industrial data coming up, as well as U.S. inflation prints coming up as well. South Korean Kospi also rebounding as retail and institutional investors stepped in to buy a lot of Korean shares overnight. Large caps traded mixed with SK Hynix up, Hyundai as well as Kia auto segment also up in Korea, as well as financials, KB Financial up by about 2%. Samsung, however, was flat, and SK Square was negative at 1.5%. Investors, of course, awaiting that of Nvidia's earnings as to see the guidance for the AI market and also the direction that they're going to be heading in for the rest of the week. In Japan, the Nikkei 225 also up by 0.5%. Tech, AI stocks rebounding. Investors, again, bracing themselves for Nvidia. We saw gains in Fujikura up by 5.5%. Furukawa up by 10.3%. Taiyo, Yuden, as well as SoftBank, each up by 2%. And Ibiden up by 6.3%. As we head towards Nvidia's earnings tomorrow, tech trading still a little bit volatile in Asia. A lot of investors reducing their chip exposure, but it will be a crucial test for AI capex tomorrow post-earnings. And watch for selling pressure at the open in all the major chip suppliers in Asia. For example, TSMC, SK Hynix, Samsung, Tokyo Electron. Keep an eye out on those at the open. We also want to see whether or not the TAIEX can hold their support now above 4,500 or 45,000. See whether or not TSMC can hold a bid right there. And with Brent crude currently hovering between $88 and $90 per barrel, keep an eye out on updates for whether they're going to be enforcing more sanctions on Iran. We did have news on U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent warning that any trade with Tehran's partners, they face deadlines to basically wind down their links, or they will face sanctions in the upcoming days. So we'll see whether or not crude price eases or stays volatile. Help with the sentiment in Asian logistics as well as transport.
Yeah, lots to look at in the Asian markets. You can join Juan and myself at 11:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. every day to talk the European and Asian markets respectively.
That's not OLED.
It's not. But like, no. Thank you there, Juan. I just mentioned in the chat that it might be the wrong decision, but I'm gonna do it. I got out anyways. It is what it is. I flatted the trade. I saw IBIT losing the bid a little bit. We were struggling to get off the Schneid and VWAP. The other side of it too, and it's going to end up being wrong to have flatted this trade. Again, not a loser, but flat when it could have been a win is what it is. Part of what I didn't love about this is the notion of buying that dip, and it's already 330, had mostly to do with, hey, snap dip buy in Oracle. The Oracle went down on the OpenAI story, the headline that person was leaving. I don't remember the name, right? That's how insignificant right away. I'm sure nobody even knows who it was that was leaving.
I do.
Do you know the person?
Chris Malone.
Yeah, but do you know who he is?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like...
Oh, you mean Chris Malone?
I had never heard of him.
Yeah, exactly.
But he also joined the company literally like 18 months ago, so...
So if you think it's overreaction, I'm looking for like an instant bounce. So if buying the dip, thinking the Nvidia went down for that reason, like look how long it's at. And of course, the second I'm like, it doesn't want to go and get out, it would have been a win. If I just leave my stop order in, you're fine and it's going to target. But at this time of day, I walked away from it. But you know what the opportunity cost was, unfortunately? I don't even mind that. That's not the problem. The problem is Moderna gave you the 160 break into 161. So you could have had that scalp trade, and that's now come and gone. So that opportunity, the opportunity cost was potentially taking that Moderna, which for my style, obviously going $1 would have been nice. Unfortunately, it's giving up the ghost a little bit there on Moderna. I think this feels like a move back in would turn into a short back into 160, as it is past 330. There are some imbalances in the millions here. EWZ 1.7, TAL 3.6 million sell, YMM 4 million sell, and TME 4 million to the sell side. But Moderna is starting to look very, very spicy. If it pops back into 160, I'll look for a fade there. And we have another donation. That's the thing, like, you know, we
got Fabian.
We just got to remember to bring it up, have Fabian pop on, and then the generosity just comes right back in. Thank you, Christian, for your donation. 95, that's got to put us,
we were just at 5,300. Now we're at 5,700.
5,700. Forget about 55, 5,700.
Yeah, so thank you so much.
Another one,
to all of that. Yeah, what's up to Ripster right there? Yeah, you're right, man. This is a 3-1 right now. Sirens up for Walmart. I still have a quarter left, so, you know, I am bidding down here at 42. Hopefully we'll get that fill. And then we'll just let it continue to bleed. I mean, bleed. I don't know if it's bleeding, but you know, good trade there on Walmart. Just at the day's high, basically came into where we were at the open. Was just looking at this. It had given us the short for 10 cents worth of a risk. Come on, man. I mean, let's go, man. Let's. That's the kind of trade that we're trying to do, 24/7. And we did it there on Walmart. I'm going to switch over now to the stop and just put it in a different spot, 70s. So let's just make sure that we can magically gather that sound right now is the drilling. So downstairs we are literally just on top, we're on floor 1, or ground floor, I guess, right beneath us is the...
That's the right idea right there.
Yeah, okay, I've been watching you guys for 5 years, and last week I made, this is what, I've already copied this and sent this over. I think all these kind of nice words are so nice. Exactly. Donated percentage there on GoFundMe. There we go, Fabian. So, you know, we'll give these guys credit for sure. You know, capture some of that profit, donate it back. Thank you so much. Right there, it means a lot, Justin. So, thumbs up.
And it couldn't be going to a better cause.
Yeah, exactly. My daughter does that all the time right now, this kind of stuff. So, whatever that means. She does that. But yeah, shout out to everybody out there. All right, SpaceX taking off. Yeah, man. We wrote down SpaceX today, 135 long. Unfortunately, all we did was short it and made money on that 138. But there goes SpaceX into what is going to be a nice imbalance spot, I think, for SpaceX. It's really moved over the last little while heading into the close. Yesterday was downside. Today it looks like to be upside again. I still would not hold this thing. Like if you're long, I still want to look at that level up there of 139.60. I think there could be something upside there. So just be careful with that 139.60 on SpaceX. If it does get up, maybe potential fade zone, as we are now just moments away, right? You're 10
minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10.5 minutes away from something maybe happening. I'm just going to still wait for that 42 to come in. I mean, we could just get out maybe right now on Walmart and forget about it, but let's just see if we get a little bit of a dip down. The lowest we've been today is 44 on this move down in. Again, short 80 against 90, that's 10 cents. So right now we're going to try to take 40 cents on the last quarter, which would be fantastic. So yeah, good little run down there for Walmart. Hopefully the best is yet to come on that stock. We can get a little bit lower, but now that I see this, I'm going to take the bid out right now at 47. Maybe we get that fill, maybe we don't, but let's see if we do. Right now at 47, we'll ring the register on that one. And I did want to check back on Oracle because Oracle, and I know you're going to talk about Moderna. We had that talk earlier today, 60 or 40. It looks like it's going to be to 60. But
it wasn't 40, it was 30.
30.
It was at 40, yeah.
Yeah. So there's Oracle, sorry, a little bit of bounce back on that move down. And apparently this Chris Malone guy, well known, and creating a nice little move down in Oracle as he leaves OpenAI.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. And look, we'll talk about Meta in a quick little second there, but Moderna did break. It did break, but it failed that 160. I'm going to remind myself to put Moderna on my imbalance, my personal imbalance locator, where I'm not looking at every single name. I want MRNA on there, I want SpaceX on there, and I want Nvidia on there, so I can track those three names specifically. But that fail of 160, it's on the bounce. Ideally before 350. If it's too close to 350, I won't care. But I want it to pop back in, retest the 160 level, show one of these wicks, and then try a little bit of a fade for Moderna. But if we're being, let's just go higher time frame. This is the thing about the 160. You have to put it in context. Friday's top was this same resistance level. It also dumped through that level on Thursday on day 2. So this 160 is not a nothing level. And I do still believe in the long for continuation, but I'd rather play continuation tomorrow. We feel that, I think just about everybody, almost everyone I talk to Al guys will walk through. Nobody seems to think, there's shorts that have gotten into this after that first day one and feel pretty good because it made the high on that day one. But nobody seems to be able to tell you how you can value what this might mean going forward. It's a very difficult thing to process, this breakthrough. It could mean a lot. And it could be like the first step for multiple different treatments and therapies. So, they've been waiting for this kind of a breakthrough to not just be known as a vaccine company with that technology. And they have a still pretty decent short flow. So, yeah, I'm pretty bullish on it, I think almost on a daily basis. But today, or at least right now, I'm going to look for the short back into this. The lower high is not 160, it's 159.60. So that's where I want to put the stop if we jump into this. With 7 minutes to go to the imbalances, outside of an imbalance trade, I feel like this would be the last thing. A lot of questions about Meta, though. There's a lot of Meta in the chat. What just happened on Meta?
That's probably the same person. I don't know.
No. Meta just broke through and went $2 off the high of the day.
Perfect.
On volume, biggest volume candle since the open. Anything happened there, Adara? Meta just now. Okay, well, yeah, I didn't hear anything that specific to Meta. I just thought people were talking about Meta because we get questions about Meta all the time. Looks like something legitimately is happening here.
Yeah, I don't know. But something legitimately is happening on Walmart right now, and the whole market going upside. Walmart coming back in. We'll see if we can get a bid here at 34, take 45 cents, and then okay, there it is, and then get really close to exiting out this trade right now. So trade number 5, a successful one there today on your boy Walmart right there. So shout out to Joey Options, loves some Walmart as well. But there it is to the down. He likes it long, but this is a nice short right there off that level. And thanks for all the talk there in the chat as we go. But okay, so that's what's going on there right now. ARM, TQQ, thanks for all the talk there in the chat about that monitor. I think we're going to go try to pick it up there tonight soon. We are going to turn it on, make sure it doesn't have any, like you guys were saying, the burn marks and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to go check that out as we go. Hopefully it's all good. And the thing is it's not about being cheap. I'm trying to teach my son different Like for me to go to Best Buy, whip out the credit card and just buy him whatever he wants, that's a completely viable option, but not something, I was never raised that way. And like, you know, my father, although has done really well for himself, and I think I've done pretty good too, it's just, you know, teaching the kids about value for $1. Like I don't want to go to Best Buy and drop $1,300 on a monitor. I want this guy to look to see if he can find something out there, do a little bit of work himself, and, you know, give him the sort of the credit, and I'll wind up paying for it. But at the end of the day, you know, telling him that he's going to have to chip in and a little bit there, he saves up some of his money from, he's 14, from various things. I think he got $50 from my mom for graduating a grade 8. He probably got another $100 for a birthday or something. So saving it up. So that's kind of what it's all about over there. Look, my daughter will buy her whatever she wants, but no, the boy, got to teach him some of those. It's so funny. Like daughter needs new skates. It's like, okay, let's go. We get right in the car.
Our boy out west is the same way. He says the same thing. The boy's got to work for it, but the girl.
Yeah. So just trying to teach a little bit because, and I also feel like the youth these days are very disconnected from actual money. Like nowadays, it's like, oh, you want to go to Starbucks? Oh yeah, no problem. Oh, like they don't even realize it's $7 a drink. You're just tapping your money away and it's gone. Like back in the day when we were growing up, to take out that $10 bill or something and drop it down and, you know, get change back, it was like, oh man, like there goes that 10 that was in my wallet for like 4 months. What have I done? You know, nowadays it's just like a lack of understanding for that. So that's what I believe in, and I was raised that way by my family, cutting coupons and all that. So trying to do my best to live in this world, but at the same time extend out my values and beliefs. So that's what I'm doing that for. So it's not no other reason other than that. But okay. The drilling is nonstop, but I'm really glad that we found oil underneath where we are right now, so that's going to be a good one. But we do have to go back over to the desk to talk to the girls.
Let's take a look at Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets here as the drilling continues above us. BTC has made a retreat after hitting the $80,000 mark. It is currently flat as day on the day, and it is trading around the 78,700 region at the moment. As for Solana, it has hit a record high in July before the sharp rally that has pushed Solana above $100, that had pushed Solana above $100, now currently at 97.6 for the first time since February, along with, as we do know, what other crypto names. And finally, Red Dot Pay, that is a Hong Kong-based stablecoin payments company, has said, as of today, that global stablecoin card spending is expected to quadruple to $50 billion a year by the year 2028. And the firm has said that the projection comes as stablecoin card spending has crossed $1 billion in July, which makes it a record month for stablecoin card spending. And this is all based from Adara from crypto payment card analytics company PaymentsCan. With that, let's just check quickly. ETH currently sitting at 2,400 region, down 1% on the day. Solana is down 1.2%. And XRP is down 1% at the $1.4 mark. But before we go back, let's go to Adara.
Keep an eye on Microsoft here in the final minutes of Power Hour and the trading session. Now, we already knew this as of yesterday because Microsoft had already shared this, but Nvidia has now confirmed that the Vera Rubin NVL72 production racks are here and that Microsoft has the first operational Vera Rubin NVL72 racks. So Nvidia just confirming Microsoft's the first to have operational racks.
There you go. City. Thank you, Adara. So with only 2 minutes to go to the imbalances, we did get this little lower high there. Moderna, the 160 fail. Said the stop wouldn't be at 160. Put it at the 59.5. Again, I still feel overall bullish about this, but with 2 minutes to go, if it comes out a buy, I hope to get swept out with the stop order that's up here. Just want to try to give it again. Tight stop. Want to look for that buck move down in. Ideally, you could get two. We have another
Kablamo
donation. See, that's the thing. Like they pick up, and that's on us. We should have done this in the morning to remind everybody. And Aaron Sevilla as well. Whether you want to tell us who you are or you want to keep it anonymous, that's perfectly fine. We should mention too. Like this is. Look, it's through GoFundMe, so you're gonna get your tax receipt and everything. It's perfectly legitimate if that's what you're all about as well. So we appreciate all of the donations, and looks like we're well on the way to the new goal is 6, and I know that's what it says at the site when you 6, look at it. Well, it goes. It just went 5. It just went 5 to 6. But I think what happened is we hit the 5. It just bumps it by the next K. It's every 2,500 though is another wig. Like that's the key part about it. You get to 75, that's 3 wigs. I think that's the noble goal because ultimately that's the end goal. You have somebody who's going through chemo and giving them that, I guess, the uplift.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, confidence. It's just
it's
go to school and be like, it's a whole new world.
It's such a big effect. And anybody that knows somebody that went.
Yeah, and if you can donate, I mean, even that $13. I mean, look, it's going a long way, and we really appreciate that. I have to admit, like, I made a keystroke error, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. We only did have less than 10% left because we were holding a quarter on the way down. And we just took 2 fills, one there at 40, then we got one at 34. So I was actually going to put a stop at 60 right there. I got some people tweeting at me there, and they were talking about what are these lines and what the colors are. So this is the gray one there is 25. You got 50. You have green is your 200, and these are all on 1 minute. Anything you ever see me put up on, basically, if it's this kind of a chart that we're showing on the show, I just put it up. So there's always 1 minute. Oh, the imbalances are now out. Okay, so we were going to get out anyways at 60. What I was going to say is we made a keystroke error, punch out immediately. Good thing we did. I don't have the imbalances up, Neil, because I didn't.
I have the ones I was watching.
Here we go.
Like,
I have them all. I have them.
EWZ, VNet, ABEV, 1 million to the sell side. These are absolute nothing burgers. But I can tell you, I punched out, and thankfully we did. Moderna was a 100,000 buy. I mean, thankfully we had a tight stop on it because if I let the imbalances hit, it did go back through the 160 level. So sometimes and if I ever trade in around the imbalances, I'm going to tighten up the stop the closer you get to 350. Because if the imbalance just goes the wrong way, then your trade doesn't matter. It's going to go the direction of the imbalances. So it's a small buy there. But that's a very nothing burger. Like, where are the names here? like there's nothing. There's no Nvidia. Walmart's a buy, but that's 900,000. SMCI is a buy, 900,000. There's just no big names out there whatsoever. ETH 590. I just saw MSTR there, 580 sell. It's pretty quiet on the local. IREN 560. No Nvidia, no Apple, no Amazon, no Microsoft, no Meta. None of the big cap names in there. And the market overall, just a 700,000 buy. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. Today's been a good day, so it's because there's no closed trades. You can't hate. But yeah, remember, if you are ever trading around 350, just have it in the back of your mind that whatever you're looking for, like if you were normally like, oh, I'm going to stop it out here at 60, the imbalances come out, you can just flip out with a really tight stop, because if it comes your direction, you're just going to be instantly in the money. But if it goes against you, there's no point losing anything extra when it's going to shoot up against you. And that's just the one thing that most traders are going to look for at the end of the day. SpaceX, apparently, is that a buy? No, it's a sell. 500,000 sell on SpaceX. And what did that do? Not much. I guess it came down a little bit, but already starting to bounce back. But it is a sell imbalance of 500,000 on SpaceX.
I mean, this question about DJT, I have to break it down. I'm going to take your word for it. I don't know what percentage of their holdings is crypto, but crypto's not doing anything. Like, if it is, I mean, that makes sense. 8 to 950. You know, I mean, crypto's had a nice run. I mean, I think the crypto run started probably, I have to find out the exact date when crypto started, but maybe that's August. This is August 10th right there on DJT. We can look back and see when that run actually happened on Bitcoin, but it is a nice little move higher there on DJT here. Let's call it up. This is from this morning when we're talking about the Chinese. Let's go to Bitcoin and see when that actually started to run there. So let's go to a daily chart, which we have on right now. This doesn't look like a daily chart. Yeah, maybe it does. That is, August 20. Let me zoom in a little bit here on that most recent run. That is August the 17th, 18th or so.
So what's the percentage move? Because DJT is about a third holdings are crypto. A third of the
the move here is 20%.
So 20%, and DJT is up 20%. And it's only, so DJT's done the same.
That's what I'm saying. So this is starting from August the 19th. Yeah, so they're basically the same date there from 8 to 9. So I just want to say, like, I do understand what you're talking about there, but don't get it too twisted there, because I really don't think it's as bad as you think.
It has moved the same amount, despite only being 1/3 of its market cap.
Right, so there you go. So maybe not moving as bad as you think. Yeah, you're welcome, man. There's the Swami sticky note again. Nvidia, yeah, I mean, thanks for bringing it up, easy peasy. I mean, I'm just glad that you guys are all looking at this. The number one stock on the day, P&L wise, is going to be Nvidia for me. And There was the call. We had it early. The 211.50 break long was huge. We actually had, that's a number one call right there. You guys can go have a look. I'm 5 for 5, so it's been obviously a pretty decent day. But by far, like this stock is like 6x my next winner today, and that is Nvidia. This was already the day maker. We made, sort of 2 times our goal on this one. It dripped down. Buying off the 200 was something that, first of all, we took a little bitty piece there. It was a little early. That happened at 9:27 before the market even opened because I was trying to play this low. So we took a quarter of a unit. We averaged into about a unit, maybe a little bit more than that as we dripped down into the 200 period, still trying to hold some of those pre-market levels. Then it took off. And then this was the key. We talked about, I heard Obi mentioning about averaging up or down and into those trades. And there's some stories there on the midday, but we averaged up into this trade. So not only was it working, but we said, F this, we're buying more. So that's exactly what we did there at 211. So that's the price we had, and there's the run up. So easy peasy, man. You and I on that one for Nvidia. What a day maker. What a good trade there. The dip buy and the breakout. Nvidia gave it to us good there today. So yeah, good trade on that one, easy peasy. You're the one who has to hit the keys. So I appreciate the call out, but great trade by you. Adara, what you got?
I've been looking for the last couple of minutes here for a story to explain that drop in USO and the pop we had in the markets, and it just came through here. Seeing reports from a source that I've never heard of before called RIA Novosti. They're saying that the U.S. and Iran have reportedly reached a ceasefire agreement, and an announcement is expected in coming days. Now, a couple things to mention. A, this morning, the White House said that they were in no talks or nowhere near any talks with Iran. B, this source, RIA Novosti, is one that I've personally never heard of. And C, this is separate from the Oman and Iran agreement that came out earlier today. They separately proposed a temporary mechanism to restore Strait of Hormuz traffic. Any deal with the U.S. and Iran is separate from the Oman and Iran agreement. Neither Washington nor Tehran have confirmed this reported agreement from RIA Novosti. Back to you.
Yeah, it's a significant move. And hey, it's just continuation from what we're seeing. Whether you believe it or not, ceasefire or not, progress or not, ball is not lying here. You've broken the trend. You broke it yesterday. You get continuation today. And most of it's going to be the gap. But, hey, it's a kind of a weak hold of the gap down. It might be a consolidative day in USO, but it's a weak one because we end up at the low of the day as we speak. So I think you're on the other side of the trade and maybe waiting for this to catch a little bit of a bottom. That's what makes sense to me. And that's why you saw everything that just bumped up. Some of it was going to be the imbalances. There were a few small buy imbalances, but most of it's going to be that move we saw in oil. And Avital as well. Thank you for the donation. We appreciate you. Another 18 in there, so we're well on the way to the target. More.
Yeah.
And, keep them coming in. Joe,
we got another one.
Another
right
one.
There.
Another Angela Marquez. We'll shout you out. Another donation. See, we'll be at 6K in no time. And we're going to be going back to the desk. Looks like Adara's got another update for us.
Yeah, I found out who RIA Novosti is, and it's not what I was expecting. This is a Russian news agency. This is a state-owned domestic news agency in Russia. So again, never heard of them. They are the individuals who reported the latest. The U.S. and Iran are near talks situation here. This was registered as part of a separate news agency after it was actually apparently liquidated by decree of President Vladimir Putin in 2013. So yeah, there's a lot here, but either way, I was kind of confused about that source. So I looked into it, and 95% of the hits when you look this up are not in English. So I think that tells you a lot.
Yeah, well, not saying, but just saying is the easy way to say it. Joe Ventura, 13 of 14 trades today. Thanks, squad. Moderna, Nvidia, Intel, Eli Lilly.
Ooh.
Eli fucking Lilly. You know we want to say this one is giving it. It's the stairs to the upside. I know you're probably short this thing today, but the stairs to the upside, pulling back in the prior high or the 50 period, it's such a great stock. I have to assume you were looking short today if you got the win on it. But in an upward trend, this is another good stock, which is pulling back and potentially giving you a little bit of a dip. Buy. Love some Eli Lilly. Let's go right back up to the desk again.
You're going right up to the desk with someone who also loves Eli Lilly. Let's talk here about hims and hers. HIMS, nice little bounce here, and also still in that Eli Lilly space of GLP-1s. FDA reportedly announcing a shortage of GLP-1 drugs from Novo Nordisk, so of course that could potentially open the door here for hims and hers. Here's Novo Nordisk just continuing to the upside, no reaction.
Yeah, hymns, I'm skeptical about hymns. Less than 1 minute to go, we have another one here, and it's going to be from JKL. Thank you. A nice welcome back present. Short USO BTC. How do you donate? Well, see this, you scan the QR code that is right in front of you. It's twice on the screen. The link is also in the description of the video today. It's also pinned in the chat. So there's multiple ways you can do it. The easiest would be to scan the QR code, but you can also, here, I can show you in the chat. Like this is my chat right here. I can just click that, although I have a bunch of Chrome. I don't know which one of my Chromes it opened up on, but you just click it, it'll open up. It's also in the link in the description. Takes you right to this page where you can see, and I got to refresh it because we've got a few more in there now, 5,800. So we're getting closer and closer to the ultimate goal. As we also get closer and closer to the closing bell, 20 seconds to go.
QR code just takes you straight to it too.
There you go.
Yep, the QR code, yeah, it works. There we go. So thanks, Fabian and Adam James Abroad there, MFD and Generous Toddler Premium. There it is. So thank you so much for looking
that name. I don't know
on that one as well. We want to appreciate all the donations, man, coming through there today. Looks like Walmart, man. That little keystroke saved us on the upside, but it's going to close a little lower. There it is. The market's now closed. We wait for earnings from Intuit. We wait from earnings from Zoom as well here into the close. Big earnings coming this week, CrowdStrike, Nvidia, a whole bunch happening there. Quick little check on USO because that was what was sort of hot there near the end of the day, setting the markets to highs. Not highs of the day, but setting it nicely to VWAP, which I didn't think was going to get to. But look at USO falling off there, down to 125, 126. We had that question about what do we think was, coming back in. I was choosing oil versus Bitcoin there, so we'll have to wait to see if that's true. Oil now down 5% on the day. So, what a good day it was overall for the markets. I mean, I think
Intuit tanked.
Yeah, I think Intuit tanked right now. Okay, I think we'll take. Fourth quarter net results are now out. Nasdaq up 0.5%. ES down a little bit. INTU. Neil has it up.
13% down on Intuit here.
Yeah, okay, I mean that could battle back. We'll wait for the numbers. 318, 320. Coming on for INTU. Yeah, a little gap down there, 315. And you can see on the daily chart right there, not great. Dick's Sporting Goods, did it hit the 30% mark or what? I know it was down into there.
It did.
Yeah, and so it closes right at 30. So wow, losing a third of your value on a report. Crazy. I guess that Foot Locker not fitting them very well because that is made its move down. Right, I got to go pick up my daughter. She's off the ice at 10 to 5, so we have a little bit of time until then. Yeah, it should be good. We'll think about picking up that monitor, and we'll have a good time here tonight. But
only if it's a good deal.
It is. I think it will be. It'll be fine.
I'm sure it is.
Work the guy down a little bit, right? So, it'll be all good, man. There it is. Intuit's 403 beats 358. Sales beats, so it must be a.
No, the guidance missed, so they're getting punished. You can't miss on guidance.
No, not these days.
Not these days. That's why you get 17% to the downside. But you know what? The bigger name reports tomorrow. We'll be worried if Nvidia was down 17%, we'd be freaking a little bit more. Intuit, not so much.
No monitor then if Nvidia's down 17%.
17%. Nvidia's not going to be down 17%.
No monitor, man. Hot dogs.
It's not going down 17%.
Yeah.
Or
exactly.
Is it?
All right, everybody. Thanks, Ramin. Thank you for everything you're doing at home. We appreciate that. Shout out to Andre. Shout out to Fabian. Thanks for helping get this going and reminding us that we need to, get more aggressive on the donations because that means a lot. And we're just a few days away from doing that. We want to thank Fabian for everything. Thanks, Brendo, today as well for working in the backside there. Thank you to the one and only there. As I said, European markets, it's obviously Asian markets. European markets at 11:30. Obi's here. Joe's here. We want to thank both of them for all their contributions again, and then the two ladies behind us, Sia and Adara, for their wonderful jobs there today. We had a new format at 8 a.m. You can join us tomorrow to find out what that's all about. We've got the left-right audio thing all figured out now. The drilling, I mean, they must have hit a gusher. It stopped right now. So they got to get those barrels down, just put the oil in there as we go.
Honestly, it didn't bother me. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not saying this to be like whatever type of subversive figure. Half the time I didn't even notice it.
Okay, well, it bothered me, and I think
I noticed it.
I think it must be great to be Adara there because definitely
that was loud as
pretty much everybody else.
I just hope their machine never works again.
There you go.
So obviously
I'm with you, Sia.
Bothering Sia as well. Yeah. What drill, Obi? What drill?
What drill?
Okay. Obi's saying you're talking about the drill.
What drilling?
All right, guys. We will talk to you tomorrow. Good day today.
We'll drill
We'll see everybody tomorrow at 8 a.m. Ciao till then. Have a great evening.